What's up, guys, and welcome back to FAMcast. This is episode 42, and this is probably my favorite podcast of the year. It's E3 time. We're only a week away. Tim and I and Trey and Moon Pickle are going to be landing in LA exactly a week from now to spend our week with E3 festivities. So since it's so close, we haven't done our prediction video yet. So Tim and I are here to discuss what we want to see, what we think is realistic to see, our wildest hopes and dreams that will never come true. So we're just kind of going to go in order of press conference. That way we just kind of get through all the publishers and maybe some of the others that don't fit in those categories as well. But to start us off, next Saturday we've got EA's press conference, which I know, Tim, that's probably your personal favorite.
I cannot wait. I mean, everything about EA is perfect in my mind.
Right. I mean, they're definitely not the villains of the
Nope.
gaming industry, right?
They get a bad rep, but if you really think about it, they're doing everything the right way.
Right. So with EA, like I said, we'll just go back and forth here until we run out of, predictions. So
Okay.
I'll start off with mine, and mine's an easy one. We know we're going to see Anthem.
Right?
Anthem we saw last year, and it looked great. I mean, it as far as graphically, it looked interesting, kind of like Destiny-esque in a way. I'm not sure if maybe that's their answer to Destiny. We don't even know how it plays. I honestly haven't even heard any rumors about how it plays. So I'm guessing this year we're definitely going to see some gameplay. Or more gameplay, I should say, and probably more details on mechanics. And I think we're going to get a release date. I think it's either going to be this holiday or it's going to be Q1 of 2019.
Okay.
What do you think? I mean, when you saw Anthem last year, what did you think?
So I was super stoked because I was a big fan of Destiny, right? I like Destiny a lot, and I'd like to have another game like Destiny. And it really got promoted hard about the whole Xbox One X, though. That was the big thing with Anthem, right? They really pushed it hard. The Xbox One X is going to be able to play this game! And that was, their big push with it, right?
Yeah.
So it looked good. It looks fun. And if they can really take what Destiny has given people and then build on top of that and actually do Destiny better, that would be fantastic. My only fear is that it's EA. And
Correct.
I'm going to have to buy my way into being one of the top dog players. That's
Right.
That's my biggest fear. I think it'll play well. I think you're right. I think they probably thought about coming out this year, but I bet it gets pushed to next year sometime, for first quarter next year, due to not wanting to compete against a lot of other big titles.
Okay. And like you said, I'm worried because it's EA as well. I even heard Zach Maley say something about they heard a lot of the armor pieces are they have a loot box style system, which I don't know. Who knows what we can really believe at this point with rumors.
Right.
I think
Loot
they
box
learned
style systems are good. I don't mind them. I don't mind loot box style systems as long as it's all in-game loot box style systems.
As long as it's purely aesthetic, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It should never have any impact on the actual gameplay itself. And because I agree, loot boxes are fun.
It depends. So
Okay.
if you look at a game like Mass Effect 3,
Okay.
Mass Effect 3 had an in-game currency. Now, granted, you could also buy money to buy more crates, and that I don't think should have been part of it. But there are those. Or Borderlands. Borderlands is another good one. Loot crates, in my mind, should all be in-game currency. Nothing should be microtransaction currencies to make you a better player. Correct?
Sure.
Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. But there are games I still like the thought of random loot, though.
Sure.
And if that's how my random loot is through these loot crates, oh man, I just did this mission, I have $300, whatever it's going to be currency in this mission. I want to use my money to buy a loot crate that I got. Maybe I can get a better gun, something like that. That I'm okay with. I don't mind if it's going to make me better. But I don't need to be able to pay money to make me better. That's all I'm asking.
Sure. You don't want that to be the only way.
Correct. Well, I don't think it should be a way at all. I don't mind loot crate style systems in terms of, but it has to be in-game currency. Does that make sense? Am I confusing you?
So you want the loot boxes to be spent on in-game currency that you earn.
Right. I don't think I should be able to use real money to buy in-game loot
Oh,
boxes.
gotcha. I completely misunderstood. I see what you're saying now. You don't
Right,
think
'cause
people should like it shouldn't be pay to win in the sense of you spend real
Correct.
money.
Correct. Like,
Okay.
if you want to have a loot crate style system, that's fine. Make it all in-game currency.
Sure. But
Because then it gives you that like sense of gambling of like, oh man, I might get a really good gun out of this. But then you might not.
and we've talked about it before, but I hate calling loot boxes gambling because in my mind, gambling means you can lose everything that you put into it. Whereas loot boxes, even if you spent real money, you still have a chance of getting something for your money. You're never going to spend money and get nothing in return.
Correct.
So
correct,
in my
correct.
mind, that's why it's not gambling because you get something. You know what
You
the
do.
expectations
You're right. You're right. You're right.
are. But we could go on and on about that.
Okay.
Back to you. So mine's Anthem. What do you think we're going to see from EA this year?
So, you know for a fact we're going to see Battlefield 5, right?
Correct. Yep.
And I think they will, because all we really got was a teaser, right?
Correct.
So, like a little teaser trailer. I think they will show off some campaign, or maybe a little bit of campaign, but I think they'll actually emphasize on a battle royale mode. I think they're really going to show off their battle royale mode and how it works. I think games are going that way, and battle royale modes in general are one of those genres that people are going to oversaturate it, right? I mean, it's going to get oversaturated.
it's already oversaturated in my opinion.
Right, and it is. But it's not necessarily a bad thing with this game, with games. And the only reason I say that is, like, for Battlefield 5, for example, like, that game could do really well with a Battle Royale mode. Call of Duty could do really well with a Battle Royale mode. The game mode works. If it works, I don't mind it being in every game, as long as it works, because it's a hyper-competitive game mode. Like, it's good.
Right. And in my mind, it fits perfectly for Battlefield anyways. Like, they're already used to the large-scale fights.
Right.
And like you mentioned, I have no issue with it being a game mode, as long as they don't make that like the full, like the only thing you can do in the game.
Right. It should be an additional thing, not an only thing.
And we'll get into it later with other games that I think we'll see announced. But other games, I don't mind if they announce like, hey, we've got this game coming, plus we've got a battle royale mode coming.
Right.
It just gives you the option. So I'm perfectly okay as long as it's an option and not something that they're forcing down people's throats. Like, this is the way that you play this game now. It's battle royale or nothing.
Right.
I mean, that's how Fortnite even started. It didn't even start as a battle royale.
Right, it didn't, and the single player was great. Like the Save the World was phenomenal. Like, I really liked the Save the World stuff that they had.
And here they are now, being like in my opinion, I feel like they kind of overthrew PUBG.
They did, for sure. Especially in terms of player base, they definitely did. There's things that make both really, really good, and I enjoy both for different reasons. But if you ask for pure player base, it's Fortnite.
Right, and we did get confirmation that Battlefront 5 is coming out this year. Is that correct? Battlefield 5? Yeah, my bad.
I believe so. I do. Yes, actually, yes. It's October.
Okay,
it is October.
That's what I thought. And then it's World War II?
World War II.
And I apologize because I'm not as up to date with like Call of Duty's Battlefield, so I knew you'd be the answer. Anything else for you as far as EA goes?
As far as EA,
Battlefield.
Just that I'm sure we'll also get a beta release date.
Okay. Yeah, they're pretty solid on always doing the. Didn't they do that with Battlefield 1? Like pretty much right when it was announced, they let you. Like,
and that would be really neat if they did the same thing. Like, it's always good. That was always one of my favorite parts of E3 is like, well, I guess watching it at house is like, and you can play it now.
Oh yeah,
and you're just like,
for sure.
Yeah,
I hope we get some of those announcements too.
It'd be nice.
Honestly, Nintendo's kind of done a good job of that recently, even though they haven't been really big announcements. But when they did like their Pokemon conference thing, being able to say like, hey, we've got Pokemon Let's Go coming, but right now you can play Pokemon Quest.
Right.
Which I know it's not a big game, but it's something that I can put on my Switch like right before I go to bed.
And it's free.
It's free. Like you can't complain about a free game in my opinion. Like just don't play it if you don't want it. It's free.
Right.
But I'll go ahead and throw mine out there. I think we're gonna see another Star Wars title, and I know that's maybe not as likely as I'd hope.
Right.
But from what I heard, I thought Respawn was making a Star Wars title. Is that
I've heard that. I've
Okay.
heard the rumors of that. Trey actually also said he thinks he'll see a new Star Wars game as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, from what I remember, I'm pretty sure it was a Respawn Star Wars title, and it was a third-person game. Granted, who knows what that is? Whether it's bounty hunters, Jedi's, who knows where it takes place? Is it Old Republic? Is it more
I wouldn't mind
modern?
another Force Unleashed as long as it was good and not number 2.
Right. At this point, EA has had the entire Star Wars license for 5 years, maybe, if not more.
And I heard that was running out, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, I heard that was running out.
I hope so, because honestly, the fact that they've had the entire Star Wars license, solely on them, they've only come out with Battlefront and Battlefront 2.
Both of which were meh, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
both of which
honestly,
were a disappointment for sure.
right.
And I mean, I'll say, like, we had fun with it, the times that we played, but it wasn't fun enough to, like, keep me interested. I'm like,
No, we didn't
oh, yeah,
go
this
back
is cool.
to it.
Yeah, we played
We
maybe
played it
a
for
week.
what, a week? Yeah.
Yeah. But that's my prediction. I'm hoping that if it's not Respawn, really anyone else from EA just throwing out another Star Wars title. But if I had to bet, I would probably put my money on Respawn.
Yep, I agree.
All right, what about you, Tim?
So I don't know if we'll see it, but what I would really like to see is a Plants vs Zombies 3.
Yes.
Like not Garden Warfare. Granted, if they gave us Garden Warfare 3, I wouldn't be upset because I do like Garden Warfare quite
It's
a
fun.
bit. Like
Oh,
it
yeah.
is a lot of fun. It is one of the few EA games that I actually have sat down and played a ton of. But I would like an actual Plants vs Gardens 3, not a mobile game either. Like Plants vs Gardens 3, PC, Xbox, PlayStation 4, what have you. I want a good tower defense game, and I feel like, especially, I feel like if they took the graphics and the beauty of Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare and they made it strictly a tower defense strategy game like that, it would be amazing.
It would.
It would be so good. So I would love to see that.
Because it transitioned well from the, in my opinion, because it started off as like the mobile games. It came to like every platform where you just have like the 4 or 5 rows. And I
think it was a PC game originally.
Okay.
But
it was out however long ago, and that was fun in itself, just with the rows.
Right.
But something that you're talking about, to where it's like a true tower defense game, to where you have like multiple lanes that branch off, setting up towers strategically along the way. I think that would be great because I have not played a good tower defense game in I don't know how long, and that probably since Plants vs Zombies 2, honestly.
Yeah.
And they all seem to be mobile anymore. Like, you never see any good tower defense games on PC.
Well, and the problem with Plants vs. Zombies 2 is they killed it because they had tons of microtransactions. The only way to get good plants was microtransactions. And I'm not talking, oh, here's $10, give me this really good plant. I know it was to get like a really good plant, it cost hundreds of dollars.
That's insane and really unfortunate.
Crazy. And it's how you kill your game. Like, people
It's how
buy
you kill
it.
your brand.
But yeah, it's how you, right, like that's all you are is a money grab. I mean, it's annoying. Like that's what made Plants vs Zombies 1 so good, was that it was just unlocks as you go. Everybody wants to unlock stuff as you progress. That's what makes games fun. Not, oh, here's $20, give me this. Thank you.
Right. And not to get ahead, I just want to touch on something similar. Yeah. It's the way that Smash Brothers became, to where you didn't unlock characters in a fun way anymore. It's just like, play 10 matches. Oh, good.
Right.
You just unlocked Jigglypuff. It's like, I don't want that. I want to discover all these crazy ways to unlock these characters.
Hidden ways to unlock people.
Yes. For sure.
Yes.
But yeah, when you make it just so straightforward, it gets very boring. Let's see. So that was yours? Yours was Plants vs.
That was my latest. That was the one I said. Yep.
Okay. Mine, honestly, I don't have too much more for EA, which I think I showed you my list, so you probably know that. We're going to get the typical sports titles. I'm not going to go into it. We're just going to see more Madden, 2K, FIFA. We're going to see all that. I don't really have much else for EA, and I feel bad, but I'm just not.
Need for Speed.
Oh, yeah.
It's another title that went downhill.
Yeah. What was the last one that they did last year? I forget.
I think it was just called Need for Speed, wasn't it? Breakout?
No, that was before.
Because that was before.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because it wasn't good. Because
Right.
You know why it's not good?
It was
Because
not
the people
memorable.
No, the people who made Burnout is making them, and don't get me wrong, Burnout's a great game, but Burnout and Need for Speed were two completely different genres for a reason, and it's not good now that they're one.
Sure.
Because it's bad for both brands, because Burnout was an amazing, destructive game. Need for Speed was amazing racing against the cops game, and they tried to, it's just bad.
Nope. Do you have anything else for EA?
Sad tears.
Sad tears. We've got sad tears ahead for our EA press conference next Saturday, only 6 days away. But it's all right.
Get that one out of the way, right?
That's just knock it out. Get it out of the way, because the next day we have two heavy hitters. We've got Xbox and we've got Bethesda.
Dude.
So starting off with Xbox, I've got a pretty long list here.
All right.
My first one, and I'll just start off with the kind of the obvious ones. I think we're going to see Halo 6 finally.
They have to, right?
So
how long has it been?
In my mind, I feel like Xbox is so far behind. Like, PlayStation just has so many great exclusives. Mm-hmm. Microsoft has to catch up somehow. So I think this year they're going to throw everything on the table, whether it's months out or a year or maybe a year and a half out. They have to announce something to get the hype built back up again, because in my opinion, they're falling behind. So I think their flagship this year is going to be Halo 6. I think that's what's going to lead the way.
Okay.
And for that, I wouldn't be surprised if they did have a Battle Royale mode. Or even if they, again, just as like a side thing, not like the main multiplayer. But if they don't do it in 6, I could see them doing it in Halo 5 to tide people over until 6, to bring people back into the game.
I don't know if Halo would do well. Halo is one of those games that I don't think will do well with a Battle Royale mode. And my reason being is a lot of Battle Royale modes, and if you think about it, there's a lot of elements to it. There's stealth elements to it. There's patient elements to it. Halo is not a patience elemental game.
You're right.
You're right. Like, then this is just me thinking of like, how would I play a Battle Royale game in Halo, right? This is me thinking that I don't think it would do well. I don't think Halo's built for Battle Royale. Halo is it's too fast paced.
And you know what? I'll agree with that. It is fast paced. I wasn't even thinking the speed of the game. I was thinking as far as sheer scale of the games, because you had some pretty huge maps.
Oh, you did. You're right. There's some giant maps.
So map size, I think it could work, but yeah, I'll agree with you. I'll give that one to you.
Now, that doesn't mean that they won't have a mode that is similar, but not quite the same, right? So that doesn't mean they won't have like a mode where it's, hey, there's 6 teams versus each other versus 100 people. I just don't think it would work in Halo though for an all-out battle royale.
That's fine. Do you think that we're still going to see it this year?
I believe we'll see Halo. I think they need to, like you were saying. I think they need to. I think Microsoft, and I'm a big Xbox fan. I prioritize Microsoft over the rest of them.
Yep.
I think Microsoft definitely falls off the title end of things. Like their games, their exclusives are really lackluster at this point. And I think Halo is like one of their biggest contenders, and they need to show us some big contenders.
Yes. Yep, absolutely. And I appreciate the fact that you can at least admit that, because there are a lot of people out there that are so diehard that they can't at least admit that, there's definitely a lack of exclusives or good exclusives.
They're all very much so.
The fan-made BR and customs is really fun. Oh, nice. And honestly, I got the Halo 1 Xbox, or the Halo 5 Xbox when it came out. And I enjoyed it for a bit, but have they been keeping up with content with that at all?
I don't know. I don't play it a whole lot, to be honest with you. I don't have any friends that play it, so maybe it is. But I couldn't tell you. Halo 5 was fun for what it was, but it bored me. I'm not a diehard Halo fan though. I play Halo mainly for the story. Like I don't literally play Halo for the multiplayer. One, because I'm not very good at it, and two, because I don't have a whole lot of people that enjoy playing it either. So because I'll get a bunch of people, we'll play a campaign, we'll have a good time through that, and then we'll just kind of stop.
Okay. Well, I'll just kind of help speed things along here. So Halo 6, we both probably agree that we'll at least see announced or talked about in some sense. What's your next prediction here?
So my next prediction, and Trey also said this, but my next prediction for sure is Gears 5. I think we're going to get Gears of War 5 for sure. I think it's time. It's time for me to have it. I can tell you that. I really want that. I really want to. That was Gears 5. I think they're going in the way. Did you ever play Gears 4? Did you ever finish Gears 4 or anything like that?
No, I don't. I never picked it up.
So Gears 4 isn't big in terms of campaign. You can beat it pretty quickly,
Sure.
and it does end in a cliffhangery way. So I think we'll see it. No, I 100% doubt there will be a battle royale mode in Gears 5. But Gears of War is another game that you really can't pull off battle royale very well. It just wouldn't work. It would just be a giant. It wouldn't work. And let me tell you, Gears of War has always been me and Casey, aka DJ Moonpickle's favorite multiplayer game.
Sure.
Like, we spent more time in Gears of War multiplayer than any other game by far. So, coming from a guy who really loves that game, there's no way a battle royale mode's it's just not going to work. It's another one of those games. It doesn't fit. It doesn't work. So I don't think that'll go through, but I'm excited. I think we will get Gears 5. I'm almost positive we will get a Gears 5 announcement, maybe some beta stuff as well, and I'm super, super, super stoked. I'm hoping the game mode I do hope that they show off that comes back is Beast Mode. I really hope they bring Beast Mode back.
Beast Mode was a lot of fun. Because the last Gears game I played was 3, but that was my favorite part about it was the Beast Mode. That was amazing. Yep. I had so much fun with that.
Gears 3's Beast Mode was fun, and there was definitely things that they could tweak and make better about Beast Mode, like they really could.
Sure.
But it was just fun. It was just being a berserker and just running over people was a blast. It was a great time. I think the way Horde Mode was in Gears of War 4 is a good idea as to how they can keep going with Horde Mode, because they had a level up system, they had a character system.
Right.
I think it's a good concept. I think there were still things they needed to tweak to make it better, but it was a good idea, and I hope we see more building onto that. Because like the multiplayer, like everything, I love almost every aspect about Gears of War. I think that's why it's always been one of my favorite titles. Not only is the campaign a ton of fun, the multiplayer is a ton of fun, the Horde Mode's a ton of fun, Beast Mode's a ton of fun. Like everything is just good. There's not a mode where I'm just like, there's a pointless mode.
Sure. And it'll be interesting now that they have the cross-play. And granted, I know they had that with 4.
Which is
phenomenal. I feel like if they keep growing that'll just allow another... Like, Sony doesn't have anything like that. So it's allowing PC gamers a way to play some of these exclusives. So I think it's it makes sense. It's a perfect way to expand your audience, especially since they're, in my opinion, kind of falling behind a little bit.
Right.
Now, before I get to mine, did you hear that I think it was maybe a 4chan leak, so take it with a grain of salt. But someone said that they actually had 3 Gears games lined up, which seems a little wild to me, but you would probably know a little bit better how realistic that is.
I believe they would have at least 2.
Okay.
I think because I think trilogies in the series, just like Halo, it does work really well. I could see them definitely having at least 2. If they do have 4, I guarantee one of them's a spinoff.
I was going to say...
Just like Judgment was... Mm-hmm. I would assume one of them's definitely a spinoff, but I could see at least 2 for sure.
Sure, because I think that's what one of them was. One of them was, the next in the line in the saga, but I think the other 2 they were saying were supposed to be like spin-off titles, which whatever. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Next on my list, let's see. I'll take a. You know what? I'll go with something that isn't game related, but I hope that I still see. Is a bundle between Xbox Live and Game Pass. Because I feel like they always talk features at some point throughout their presentation. So
they do. They're always emphasizing that.
Yeah. Was it last year that they announced Game Pass?
They did.
Okay. So I don't want 2 separate subscriptions to Microsoft. I would much rather give me the option to bundle and save money. Because right now, honestly, I canceled my Game Pass because I stopped playing Sea of Thieves. Right. But if I'm going to I buy my Live a year at a time. If I only have to spend $20 more or something to get Game Pass for a year.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
That's a good... If they do it as a year, like, hey, buy it for a year, spend $70 with us or $75, that would be a good move on their end. That'd be a very good move on their end.
I would spend the extra money to do that. I like the idea of Game Pass. Even though I don't utilize it all that much, it's perfect. I think it's such a great idea.
Game Pass is really good for people like... So, me and yourself... If a new game comes out and we want it, we buy it.
We're gonna buy it.
I mean, we just buy it.
Correct.
So Game Pass, I don't think was ever designed for me and you. It was designed for people who want something, but they can't necessarily get their hands on it.
Sure.
Right? And this is a perfect way. $10 a month, get all the new exclusive Microsoft titles, like from Microsoft Studio games.
And that's
for free,
insane.
Or for $10. I mean, that's nuts. That's great. That's a great. If they release 4 titles a month or a year, that well and paid for itself, if not more.
Yep. Easily.
So that's a great concept through them, and I hope that it does grow. But what you were saying, I think is a good idea.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, I really don't know. I know that's a boring prediction, but that's what I hope to see from them. What I'll pass it over to you though, because I don't want to talk too much about mine since it's kind of boring. But let's get back into the games.
So mine is mine's actually not going to be necessarily a game either.
Okay.
And I have a reason for this because 2 years ago Microsoft announced Xbox One X, and one of the highlights that they had was Bethesda VR Studios, and we haven't seen anything from Microsoft's VR headset. Last year, I talked to Phil Spencer, myself, actually. We were in this big Xbox thing, and I asked him, that was my question I asked. I was like, hey, so what do you think anything with the Xbox headset's going to come out, VR headset? He's like, well, we're not really focusing on that this year. That's not really our main strike for this year. This year is really more about just getting the Xbox One out there. A year later now, I hope we either see something in terms of Xbox VR. I'm hoping Xbox takes it a step further, though. I don't want just an Xbox VR headset, right? I'd rather have HoloLens. I'd rather see more on HoloLens.
Same.
Because that thing's glorious. But I hope Microsoft releases some kind of new, what would you say, an accessory, I guess? Some type of new game accessory, VR, augmented reality, something to utilize what they were talking about with Bethesda VR titles. And because this isn't just like a out-of-the-blue shot. This was discussed. This was a thing 2 years ago. It came up.
He said specifically...
I want to see where that's at.
If I remember right, he said specifically like Fallout VR would be perfect
Correct.
on the Xbox One X, right?
Correct.
That was
exactly.
like the...
So, I hope we see it.
I hope so too, man. I would love to. I mean, the Oculus ships with an Xbox controller. Even if they did some sort of partnership with Oculus instead of doing their own thing, something. I mean, PlayStation VR has been out for 2 years now.
And it works. That's the thing. PlayStation VR, look, I'm not a huge PlayStation fan, and I have a Vive, and I've played the PlayStation VR. And let me tell you, for the price point, especially that it is now, for only needing a $500, $400 console, like, that is a very solid VR headset.
Yeah.
Like, it works extremely well. So, it can be done. It's fun. Is it gimmicky? I mean, sure, kind of, but everything's gimmicky nowadays, isn't it? I mean, it's hard to determine what's not gimmicky. But even as a gimmick, it's a ton of fun.
It's not going to be for everyone.
It's not. But I'll tell you, when you live in the wasteland, you want to stay in the wasteland.
I didn't think we were ever going to hear from Tim again once he started Fallout VR. I'm kind of surprised that he actually broke free of that.
The game is so good.
Next on my list, I think we're going to see Crackdown 3 pushed back.
Really?
I think we are, honestly. And
is it just going to get canceled?
I don't, and I'm not even saying that as a joke. I honestly feel like it's going to be pushed back. I don't think it's going to be 2018 anymore. I think it's going to be pushed back to 2019.
But they won't really announce that, right? It'll just happen.
Right? They wouldn't. They wouldn't show. Well, I'll take that back. They could show a new Crackdown 3 trailer with like a coming Q1 of 2019. Right. They could do something like that, but they're not going to come and be like, "Yeah, we know you're waiting for Crackdown 3." Not this year. I'm
Maybe
sorry.
we get a demo to hold us over.
Demos aren't even a thing anymore, which is kind of sad. You know what I mean?
They're not, but I mean, they gotta do. Because here, did you ever play Crackdown 1 or 2? Did you ever play Crackdown 1 or 2? So, Crackdown's okay. There's a lot of hype behind Crackdown, but Crackdown's okay. Crackdown is basically GTA 5 with superheroes, and you're a cop. I mean, that's Crackdown, right? I mean, you're not really a superhero, but you get my friend. You got powers. And
I got it.
Yeah. So that's Crackdown. So it's okay. It's fun. It's a big sandbox game. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I'm super looking forward to Crackdown. I think it'll be neat. I think if they can pull off what they're trying to pull off in this specific Crackdown, and they can pull it off well, it'll be extremely neat with how destructible, how just literally everything is destructible. Like, that's the coolest feature they have going for them. But it wouldn't, I guess, surprise me. I mean, it shouldn't, though. Like, they really need to put that game out. This game's been announced since Xbox One.
Yeah. It's been 4 years?
Yeah.
Something like that. At this point, it's just kind of sad.
It is.
What's next on your list, Tim?
So, I'm actually going to pull one off of Trey's list because I wouldn't have thought of this game, and maybe you know a little bit more about it. Jet Grind Radio?
I never played it, but I do know that Trey's a big fan. Is that Sega? No, I'm thinking... Is it?
Yeah, I think Jet Grind Radio is Sega.
Okay, I thought so too. So Trey was thinking, what was he thinking? Like a new game or like a re-release?
I think so. I think he was thinking of a new game.
Oh, cool. I mean, I'd be
So
cool with that. I never got around to playing it.
He said that in Sonic Racing. Those were his two predictions for Microsoft.
Now I did hear Sonic. Well, I didn't hear it. It got confirmed that Sonic. Sonic.
Did it get confirmed?
Yeah, Sonic Racing is coming. I forget what the title is. They confirmed it, and I'm sure we'll see more. In the next week. I'm not sure.
Those games were just kind of okay.
Yeah, and those games are always kind of hard to predict because you don't know who's going to who they're going to partner with. Are we going to see that with Xbox, PlayStation, Ubisoft? Like who's going to do that? But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Sonic Racing. I was like Sonic R growing up. Next on my list, I'm trying to avoid the ones that are kind of obvious. I want to see a Rocksteady game. So Rocksteady did the Arkham series.
Oh, okay.
So there have been rumors for quite some time that they're working on another game. I've heard some rumors say it's a Superman title. I've heard other people say it's a Justice League title. Either way, Rocksteady blew away the Arkham trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Whoever they decide to do a game on, I'm perfectly cool with it.
Yep.
So whichever it is, I don't really have much more to say. I just want more from Rocksteady. Just because being a big Batman fan myself, those were such fun games. Like all the little lore pieces that they had in there, for the comic fans,
right?
And the overall mechanics of the game were super fun,
right?
The stealth especially, which we were kind of seeing, not copy and pasted in Spider-Man, because I don't think you can really steal game mechanics in a way. It's not like they have a license to that. It fits perfectly well with Spider-Man. So I'm excited to play Spider-Man just for the fact that it plays like Arkham, even though I'm more of a DC guy. But whatever Rocksteady has, I'm excited for, if anything.
I respect that.
All right, you're up, Tim.
Okay, so I don't know if we'll get this. I hope we do. The only reason I don't think we will is because Randy Pitchford said we probably won't, but I'm hoping he's lying, is I really hope we see Borderlands 3. I am so ready for freaking Borderlands 3. I'm ready for a new Borderlands.
Yeah.
I need Borderlands right now. I need that game.
Borderlands is amazing.
Oh, I just need to see it. Just show me something. Because you know it's going to look good. Yeah. And it's going to be so much fun. I just need to see something.
It's hilarious. The gameplay's addictive. The multiplayer's great. I loved everything about Borderlands. Mm-hmm. And Borderlands 2 just it was everything I liked about 1, but they just improved upon it. So I feel like they know what people want. I'm not sure what we'll see this go around with 3. As far as what else they could improve on. But I just want to see it. I'm with you, man.
And what day is Sunday? What's the date Sunday? Is that the 11th or 12th?
That's the 10th.
Is it the 10th? Or maybe it's the 10th. Yeah, the 10th. Because the only reason I bring it up is there was a screenshot that someone apparently got from and you can look this up.
Sure.
It was a behind the scenes look at Borderlands or something like that, right?
Okay.
And it said more on June 10th. That's the only reason I bring it up during the Microsoft press conference.
Okay.
Is because that's the June 10th press conference. That's really big. And like I said, you can look it up. I'm not crazy, hopefully.
No, I believe you.
But at the same time, again, Randy Pitchford said it's not going to be at E3. He said
he didn't specifically say it wasn't. He said, I could tell people Borderlands 3 is not going to be at E3 and people still wouldn't believe me. So he's not saying it's not going to be there. He's just saying it no matter what I say, people are going to expect it to be there.
Expect it, right. Yep. I agree.
So
next year?
I hope so. Next up for me, I want to see more Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay.
That was announced 5 years ago. I believe. Oh my gosh, who are the people that did Witcher 3? They're the same people that are doing this game. Project. I'm blanking right now.
I'm bad with names on them.
Okay, so the people that
made Witcher 3.
Yep. So they're supposed to be at E3 with an unannounced. They said it's an unannounced title, but I feel like it's going to be Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay.
It's just been announced for so long. And we got a few updates a couple months back, if I remember right. Enders says CD Projekt Red. Thank you for that. That's why he's the mod. But yeah, I just want to see more of it. I don't even know what to expect from it, honestly. I don't know what it's going to play like. I know nothing about it, but it just looks gorgeous, and I love the whole cyberpunk thing. So
Okay.
that's what I'd like to see. Back to you.
This is another long shot, but I would really like to see another Alan Wake game.
An Alan Wake game? I did not expect you to say that.
Alan Wake was phenomenal. Very, very, very fun game. Extremely good story. The game, I mean, it was very good. I don't know how they could do it necessarily, but I would love to see another Alan Wake game. I think that would be I think that's something that they need, though. Alan Wake was a huge Microsoft title. It was very big. It was very fun. It was unique. And those are the things they need to keep bringing back because they're lackluster on their exclusive titles. So I would like to see Alan Wake being one of their bigger exclusive titles that they had. I'd like to see another one of some sort, please. Thank you.
Yep, I heard lots of great. I never played it myself, but I always heard great things.
You never played Trevor. You would have loved it.
It's probably on Game Pass. I can probably go play it.
Maybe.
It would not surprise me if it was. Next up on my list, Fable. I think we're going to see Fable. And when I say that, I don't mean we're going to see Fable 4 or whatever the tower defense
Fable
thing.
Legends and Fable stories and Fables.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to get. It could just be an announcement. It could just be like, hey, we're working on Fables again. But I feel, again, just going back to what I was saying with Halo, they have to put all their cards on the table. Like, at this point, Sony has way too much lined up. They have to do something. So I think they're going to just announce everything that they're working on. I was never a Fable fan, so it doesn't really excite me, but that's something that I'd like to see.
That's the scary thing, is Fable has kind of killed itself due to all its off-brands. Right?
Sure.
Now, when you think Fable, you think of stupid games, not the fun RPGs that they used to have. But it could work. We are definitely up to date. The graphics are up to date. They could definitely make some really crazy things happen. So I'm not opposed to seeing Fable. I would like to see Fable, but it needs to it needs to impress me for me to actually get back into it.
And they never did that tower defense one that they announced like 4 years ago.
I think it got killed off because everyone's like, no, stop.
Gotcha. I didn't think it did, but like I said, I don't follow it.
Because it was a Kinect game. Like,
was it?
Is that the one we're thinking of? Are you thinking of the same one? There was there was a Fable game that was a Kinect game.
No, this was like a tower defense.
Well, that was Fable Legends. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean that's all. I don't have much to say about Fable other than I think we'll see some sort of announcement. So, back over to you, sir.
So I'm gonna. Now this is a weird announcement.
Okay.
This is a weird. It's a weird thing. I think we get at least 2 brand new big IPs.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna pretend to predict what they are because the whole point is it to be a surprise, right? So I think we're gonna get at least 2 big surprise games, like games that'll be like, whoa, look at that game. Like I can't wait for it because that's what they need right now, right? I mean, they need that more than anything else. They need that. They need those moments of like, oh my god, I can't wait to play this game.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna throw a title. I'm not gonna throw anything. I'm just saying we get at least 2 big new genre type / game ordeals.
Sure. I mean, I think it was last year with Sony. They announced Days Gone, which everyone got excited about, that new zombie game.
Well, that was a couple years ago, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was a couple years ago.
I'm pretty sure Days Gone. Year.
I'm pretty sure Days Gone was a couple years ago because they showed off another trailer last year of Days Gone.
Maybe that's what it was. Okay.
But I think, yeah.
Like they had that. They had Spider-Man. Like they're just constantly like, there's never like a dull moment. It seems like as soon as the
Monster Hunter World last year at PlayStation's was like the thing.
And it came out like so. It was so soon.
It did, and it was great.
And they've been. I'm gonna get off track, but I hope Monster Hunter keeps keeping up with the content like they have been. Granted, I haven't been able to get around to it all, but I'm glad that they're at least trying to keep the game alive.
Right.
Was that you or me? That was you.
I talked about the 2 exclusive titles.
Let's see. You already did Borderlands 3. I think we'll get Perfect Dark.
Really?
Yep. So kind of like what you were mentioning, to where they just need to bring in not necessarily a new IP, but I think they need to bring some stuff back. And I think enough people liked Perfect Dark that we could see either a reimagining, a sequel, whatever you want it to be. I think they should bring that title back. Again, I don't have much to say on it other than I think Perfect Dark is something that Microsoft needs this year.
If they bring back Perfect Dark, because Perfect Dark was great, it was fun. Perfect Dark needs to set itself aside from all the other shooters. That's going to be the only problem with Perfect Dark is there's so many shooters out there nowadays. Why would I want Perfect Dark over Battlefield? Why would I want it over Overwatch? Why would I want it over this and that and that? So if it does come out, they need to, because like Perfect Dark Zero was solid, it was fun, but the campaign was boring. It was very forgettable. You played Perfect Dark Zero for its multiplayer.
Okay.
So if they do come out with one, it just needs to be able to set the competition aside, something that makes it different. Like I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
It's just shooters nowadays there's so many. It's just what's the word I'm looking for? They're so saturated everything, and it's like you kind of think everything's already been done, and it kind of has. So if it's going to come out, it needs to prove that wrong.
You need something to set yourself apart for sure.
Correct.
And that with that actually goes. I'm done with my Xbox list. So whatever else you have for Xbox, it's all on you now.
So this is a classic, and I've been thinking about this for a while because it's kind of kid games, but thinking of like Crash and Spyro and how they're kind of getting onto this, and they're kind of pulling from that nostalgia feeling of people now. Like, man, I want to play some nostalgia. I gotta remember the name exactly, but did you ever play a game called Ty? Ty the Tasmanian. I think it was Tasmanian.
I know what you're talking about.
The little tiger dude that was exclusive on the original Xbox. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to pull that guy back. Just because, and like, would it have? Okay, I would be surprised, actually. Let me take that back. I would be very surprised. But it would be Ty's the boomerang guy. Yes, that guy. Like, I think it would be a curveball. It'd be a curveball that a lot of people would like.
I mean, Sony has definitely seen the success from, bringing back, it was Ratchet and Clank first, right?
Ratchet and Clank was big. Jack and Daxter, which I love. Jack and Daxter.
But they didn't remake that one like they did the other two, right?
What do you mean?
Like they rebuilt Ratchet and Clank and they rebuilt Crash, like from the ground
up.
Oh
no, yes, they just did an HD port.
Okay, yeah. And then that's what they're doing with Spyro, to where they're rebuilding it from the ground up.
It's a rebuild, apparently, yes.
So you're thinking that because of that success, Microsoft's going to bring in Ty the boomerang guy. Is that correct?
I mean, I don't think that was actually his name, but
right.
I think.
Oh, there it is. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger.
I knew it was Ty the Tasmanian something. Just to pull that nostalgia. Not a whole lot of people played that game. Don't get me wrong, but for the people who grew up on just Xbox, they'll know that game because that game was big on just Xbox.
For sure.
So I think that would be a big title.
Awesome. Anything else for Microsoft?
I mean, we talked about the VR stuff. That was. I think we'll get a lot of features announcements like you're talking about. That's one thing Microsoft always does is they go over how are they improving.
They're great with
Xbox
their services.
Live. They are. So I'm sure we'll get more Game Pass not Game Pass. Play Anywhere announcements. I'm sure the Play Anywhere thing will grow and we'll get bigger into that because it's not just first party titles. Resident Evil is on there. Ark Survival is now on there, so you can play. So I think we'll get more integrated with that, and I'm sure we'll see a lot more service features that they're wanting to do because they can't do a console, right? They're done with that.
Not yet.
Right.
Which I will say that brings up an interesting point because we are kind of, and it sounds weird to say, but we're not too many years away from probably being the end of this current gen cycle.
Depending on how you look at it.
Correct.
The only reason I bring that up is the consoles are so far advanced nowadays. Like, I don't think it's necessarily going to be a matter of getting a new system, like having to get a new system.
Correct. Like the games are going to be compatible. You're just upgrading the hardware.
Right. Exactly. I wouldn't expect anything hardware from Microsoft for at least a few years. Like, there's no way they can release something in the next 2 or 3 years. They have to wait. The only reason I say that is just because it was maybe a month or so ago when Sony was saying, like, yeah, we're definitely supporting the PlayStation 4 until, like, 2021. Right, but that's like 3 years, though, right?
Right. But it seems a lot further away than what it is, Like, eventually...
It's an interesting way to say that, though. they're supporting the PlayStation 4 at least until then, right? That's what you said? But that doesn't mean they won't make something in between then. They're just going to keep supporting the PlayStation 4.
Sure. I
That's
mean,
just
you can interpret it
analyzing
multiple
the words.
different ways.
Yeah. But go ahead.
And I mean, that's it. I don't want to get too far off into some crazy next-gen discussion. But moving on to one that I know you truly are excited about, Bethesda.
Oh my gosh.
Which, for those listening, that's the only one that we got into this year for E3. Trey will be going to Xbox FanFest. Or no, he's going to the press conference. He's going to one of the two.
He's going to the press conference for Microsoft.
Okay, so Trey will be going to the conference, which will be cool. But the four of us, Trey, Tim, myself, and Moonpickle, will be going to the Bethesda showcase, which last year was probably the highlight of E3, other than meeting Kojima. But it was like the highlight as far as Tim actually waited in line with us for a little bit, and me and Trey got in, and Tim left, unfortunately.
We were exhausted.
In Tim's defense, he had a really long 2 days with Microsoft. Granted, they were awesome days for sure.
They were phenomenal days.
But Bethesda set up this whole theme park. They had an open bar. You could get caricatures. They had turkey legs. Just a super cool setup. So I'm hoping that they're doing it in the same place this year. So I'm hoping they kind of have a similar theme to it, or a similar way of going about it. So we'll actually be going into the theater, watching the presentation, and then we exit out into the actual event, like the.
Wait,
after
is that how
party.
that works? Are you sure?
Correct.
Okay.
That's how it worked last year, to where me and Trey got into the overflow line. So we weren't invited to the press conference, but when they had extra room.
So we actually get to go in and do all the fun stuff and be part of that, right?
Yep. So we'll be able to watch the show. Then we get to do the fun stuff after. Which, from the invitation, last year their invitation was theme park themed. So that's kind of how they did the party. This year it looks like it's almost like Oscar party kind of theme.
Right, so like a formal, yeah.
So I'm not sure what they're going to do, but I'm excited.
I am.
I mean, you saw the pictures last year in the videos. It was awesome.
Well, so here was the annoying thing about last year's. Almost every year Bethesda has a show, and it's always really good. Yeah. Right? Then last year, me and Moonpit was like, okay, whatever, we'll watch the show at the hotel room because we're exhausted, we're tired, we don't want to wait because we didn't know if anything was even going to happen. We stayed in that line for like an hour and nothing even moved, right? So we went there, and all it was a bunch of like trailers back to back. There was no say. It was a terrible presentation for the viewer at home, if you ask me. But to be there was a completely different story.
Correct. Yeah, because we were standing next to like was it Todd Howard? I forget. Like we were standing next to like some of the actual guys at Bethesda. Like it was just cool. You got to mingle with them. But anyways, I'm getting distracted.
Right.
We're gonna, just to throw it out there, we're gonna be there, so we'll definitely show you guys some cool stuff when we get back. But as far as the first announcement, and I'll just kind of go off with a hopeful one. I want to see this rumored sci-fi RPG that I guess has been codenamed Starfield.
Starfield, correct.
So, and I know nothing about it, but I'm definitely about sci-fi, and if Bethesda's doing it, I'm on board. I would love to see what they have in store.
Right.
Do you know anything?
No.
Okay.
I know that it is very in the hush hush if it's an actual thing.
Okay.
And like you said, if it's Bethesda, I mean, I don't know anything that Bethesda's touched that's been garbage. Like they are one of those. They're kind of like BioWare almost, where anything they touch tends to be pretty darn golden.
Okay.
So I would assume that if it is, and that's if it's produced directly through them, of course, right?
Right.
If it is made through them, I can't wait to see it. And I hope that they announce that. I think they'll have a new IP. I think that was the worst part about last year's is there was no new IP. It was all rehashes.
Correct.
There's, stuff. So I think they'll announce a new IP. And I think that's it, and they'll go into details about it. I think we will get that game.
I hope so, man. Like that would be, I don't know, that'd be pretty cool in my opinion, just to see a new IP from them. Hold on real quick, Tim.
Yep, you're good.
Gotta take care of something.
Take care of your business.
There we go. Cool. That's taken care of. Anyways, yeah, my the thing that I want to see is definitely Starfield. Sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, go into what you would like to see.
Okay, number one, hands down, what I want to see more of is Fallout 76. I watched that teaser, or that their stupid. I watched
Correct.
that teaser several times. I was on their Twitch stream for I don't know how long, waiting for that bobblehead to do something other than sit there.
Right.
Because they trolled us all, but that's funny. It's okay. If Fallout 76 is what people are saying it's going to be, some people are like, I don't want that. I can't wait for it. I think that's a Fallout game that I could only dream of. I would love to have a survival online Fallout game. A Fallout game that is much like DayZ would be great. It's perfect.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest thing that has me excited is the fact that they've said, or the rumors are that it plays like DayZ.
Right.
Which
Now,
that would be super cool because they've never done
Yeah.
a multiplayer Fallout, correct? Nothing to where you can play with anyone else.
ESO was their first attempt at a multiplayer game in terms of like the big two worlds in Elder Scrolls and Fallout. And it's an MMO, and it's okay. It's not bad. I mean, it does succeed in where it succeeds at. But I think what makes this great is it's not, from my understanding, it's not going to be an MMO. It's an online survival RPG.
Okay.
Which I love Fallout. I love the series. It's easily one of my favorite series of all time. And it's going to be different, and I know it's going to be different. And it's not going to be Fallout 5, right? This isn't Fallout 5. It's not supposed to be Fallout 5. But it would be so neat if they can do it right. Like, the Fallout world is perfect for a survival-esque game. You have ghouls, you have super mutants, you have people who are just trying to survive. It is the perfect environment for that to happen.
Absolutely. Now, what do you? Because I know you being a big Fallout fan. What do you know about where this falls, like in the timeline, based off of like what you've seen from the trailer?
So and this is just kind of bear with me here because I'll probably get my numbers mixed up here, and I got to remember exactly how this works. I believe every Fallout game tends to take place. It's like a couple hundred years in the future, right?
A couple hundred years.
A couple hundred years
from now
in the future. From the war of 20. Oh, it was like 2076. I don't know the exact date.
Okay.
But there's a war in we'll say 2050, and anybody can correct me. I'm not saying that's the exact date. I know it's not.
Sure.
But example, every Fallout game takes place a couple hundred years after that.
Okay.
After everything, the dust has settled. This Fallout 76 takes place apparently about 20 years
after the
war.
Okay.
So it takes place well before Fallout. All the Fallouts, including the first Fallout, takes place well before all of the Fallout games. It's like right after the nuclear apocalypse happened.
Interesting.
So you're going out because Fallout 76, the vault itself is actually talked about here and there in other Fallout games. It's very nonchalant. It's not like you would definitely just miss it and forget it and not care about it. Right. It's just one of those things. But it was more of a control vault, and it was meant to be open relatively soon after, because that's why they think it's only 20 years, because it's meant to be open like 20 years after the bombs, the drops, the apocalypse thing, right? Now, a couple of teasers people were looking at, you can actually see the year marking on it, and it actually looks like it's going to be 25 years after it, not 20. So, I mean, however that ties in, who cares? But it'll be very interesting because it'll be a very new world for everybody. For everybody who plays the game, it'll be a very new world to see it 20 years after it versus 200 or so.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, things haven't mutated as much. You're going to see things that aren't as... Yeah, it's not going to be as... I don't even know what word I'm looking for, but it's not going to be as mutated as the previous...
It's going to be a lot more chaotic.
Oh, yeah, because there's going to be more... things. There's going to be
a lot more radiation everywhere still.
Yeah.
You're going to have things that haven't died off that just came there. I mean, people are going to be... I mean, I can only assume that people are going to be scared, because there's just not very long. So it's going to be really nuts. And it takes place close to Fallout 3's realm. It takes place in like the West Virginia area, from my understanding as well.
Right.
So that'll take more homage to like where Fallout 3 took place.
Sure. And it's supposed to take place in DC as well.
So that's the thing. Like Fallout 76 was in that DC West Virginia area. There wasn't an exact location on it. It was never in you. I mean, you couldn't go to. From my understanding, you could not go to Fallout 76 and Fallout 3. Maybe I'm wrong. Again,
Okay.
cool. We can
Sure.
look it up. But I don't believe you could go. I'm pretty sure you could not go to that vault. So I don't believe it's actually in DC. It's just in the West Virginia area.
Okay. Now, other than it being Daisy-like, and we know it might take place in Daisy-like, and it might take place in the DC area. We really don't have much else other than.
No,
that
I
to
mean
go
they,
off
they
of.
literally said nothing. Everything we are saying, everything we've read is 100% rumor. Bethesda gave us that teaser. That's it. Until E3. So this could be completely different than what we think it'll be. It could just be an off-brand game like what Fallout New Vegas was, to where it's just an RPG, a single-player RPG, and there might not be online. I mean, everyone's speculating online because they think that it's time for that, but that doesn't mean they'll go that direction. And I'd be okay if they don't. Like, just give me more Fallout.
Yep. I think it's nice that we're kind of getting a. I like that it's actually made by. Because New Vegas was made by Obsidian, correct? Is that who it was?
Yes, I believe that's correct.
So I like that this is still made by Bethesda, but it's not following the standard 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of format.
Right. And
but they're trying something new, which I'm excited about. Because I feel like too many times when someone tries to do something new, they let another studio develop it. So I'm excited to see what they do with this, because I've never been a big Fallout person, but if it plays like what we're hearing about, or what we're hearing it's supposed to play like, I'm definitely for it.
It's just one of those things, like, it could fail completely. It could.
Oh, yeah.
100%. This could fail. But at least they're trying, and that's all I ask. At least they're giving it a shot.
Yep. On mine, let's see, what did I have next? We'll go ahead and skip Rage 2 if that's okay with you.
Oh, why? It's going to be so great and stuff and things. And
Well, the only reason I say that because it already got announced, so it's not like
it
it's
got
a
announced, and
prediction.
I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Okay, well maybe we'll talk about it. What are you not excited for, Tim?
It looks too okay. It looks. What, there's a word for it. There's a game that it looks like. It looks identical to it. What game was it? It just. You know what I'm thinking of, though. You know exactly what I'm thinking. It doesn't look very appealing to me. It looks like they took what Rage was, and they're kind of trying to Borderlands it up. Is that a good way to say that?
They took what Rage was, and then they made a sequel from it.
Right, and then they but they're doing it it's like they're trying to be funny with it. They're doing it in like a
Oh, I see what you're saying. They're trying to add. Okay, I see what you're saying.
They're trying to add this comedy to it, and I never thought Rage was a funny game. I mean, I'm not saying it was a crazy game, sure, but I never took it as a haha funny game.
That's
so
fair.
I feel like they're taking Rage and turning it into something it was never meant to be, just to appease people. Because I think it's like they find the success of Borderlands really funny, how successful it is with all this raunchy comedy and stuff like that, and they're going to try to add that to their game to kind of make their own Borderlands game. That's how I feel.
Okay, I mean, and that's fair. I never played Rage. I've seen how it plays, but it's nothing that I've really been excited about. One that I do hope we see is a Doom sequel. Just because of how successful Doom was when they finally brought it to current gen consoles. I mean, it was really successful enough that they brought it to the Switch. Right?
Yep, it came to the Switch.
Okay, and VR as well. So I feel like it was successful enough that I'm sure it warrants the sequel.
Yep. I'd be okay with it. I mean, I love Doom. Don't get me wrong. I think Doom's a phenomenal game. I absolutely love Doom. I don't know if it's time for a sequel for it in terms of Bethesda's eyes. Bethesda is a drawn-out company. They will make you wait for a game. Now, that doesn't mean we won't get a Doom. So what I'm saying is I don't think we get Doom 2.
Okay.
That's not to say we don't get a Doom spin-off and or a Doom expansion of some sort.
Okay. So
but I don't
could
think
see
we get Doom 2.
Okay, so you could see, since it's still recent, you could just see them expanding on the current game then.
Correct.
Okay.
I see them expanding on it or doing kind of like a spin-off title of it of some sort, but I don't think we get Doom 2.
Sure, and that's fair. I'll go with that. What about you?
It's a long shot. It's a very long shot. Yeah, exactly. I really hope even if it's just a tease, even if it's just literally they put up Elder Scrolls 6 and goes away. I don't care. Like, that's fine by me. I just want something.
It's gonna be the speaker up there talking about a completely different game. It's just gonna like flash a number 6. It's like,
right. That's all I need.
Right.
That's all I need. That's perfect. Thank you.
You're gonna start freaking out because you're gonna be the only one that sees it. No one else is gonna see it, and Tim's gonna be like a conspiracy theorist going around like
nobody caught it on
you?
video. Nobody. It's literally nowhere. I'm the only one who saw it.
It doesn't pick up on like the post like the uploads on YouTube or anything.
Right. It's like no, it was there. It was there. Like have you ever seen
like
the meme
rocking in his
Charlie
chair.
with Charlie Day and the meme of Charlie Day and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he has like this giant board behind him, and he like looks all freaked out. Like that will be me. I will see that, and I will be trying to convince everybody this is real, and it happened.
So I know that, like you mentioned, it is a long shot, but where do you think it would take place?
Where do I think it'll take place?
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be a whole new continent. I think it'll be a whole new place.
Oh, so nothing that we've even... Because I'm not super into Elder Scrolls, but I know enough that there are places on the map that the player's never been to. Is that right?
Kind of, sort of. Like, so, you know, you had Tamriel, you had Skyrim, you had Morrowind. If it had to take place anywhere that we've already seen, I'd love for it to take place in Tamriel again. I loved Oblivion. Like, it kills me because technically, theoretically, we can never have Oblivion gates anymore due to how Oblivion ended. But Oblivion was phenomenal. But there are areas we've seen because of ESO and ESO. I just hope we don't get more ESO crap. Like again, ESO is good for what it is, and there is a player base behind it, and good for them. I could not get into it. I tried. I spent a lot of time in that game. I could not. I couldn't do it. It just bored me. So I don't want to keep seeing ESO stuff every year. ESO. I want to see the next Elder Scrolls game, and I hope if they do it, new console, new everything. New continent, like just new, not new world necessarily, just new continent. I want to see, and I want it to be freaking huge. I want this map to be ginormous, like
Sure. What do you think about what Rachel's saying? The Khajiit homeland.
The Khajiit homeland. That would be interesting. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. It could be wherever. If it's Elder Scrolls 6, I don't care where it's at.
Right.
That's great for me. That would be phenomenal. It would be very interesting to be the Khajiit homeland, just because a lot of things would be stolen from my person.
A lot of things would be stolen from your person?
There'd just be a lot of Khajiit just running around trying to steal things from me.
Is that
Did you not know? That's their ability, their stealth. That's what they do. They have high rankings in pickpocketing.
Okay.
Are you trying to make me the bad guy here, Travis?
I don't know. I wasn't sure where that was going. I'm like, wow, Tim, that's
what they do. That's the Khajiit.
Okay.
And there would be merchants everywhere that stole from me. They would be selling. I would have to go to an island and buy what they stole from me. That's what that game would represent.
Like, come on, this looks really familiar. Guess I have to pay $200 gold to get that back.
But it would be funny. I don't care. I just want it. Give it to me. Give me something. I don't care. Give me something that makes me think it's Elder Scrolls 6.
Sure. Do you think we see... So, I'm going to go ahead and say the only new IP that we would see is that Starfield game. So, I don't think I have any other... I'm not going to throw it out there that we'll see any other new IPs. But do you think we will see anything else from Dishonored this year?
Well, maybe. Dishonored 2 was what? 2 years ago? 2 years ago.
Was it really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it wasn't as good as the first. If you ask me, I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as I enjoyed the first. The first one was great. I played the second one, and I couldn't even finish it. I don't know what it was about it. I didn't enjoy it as much. So I wouldn't be opposed to seeing another Dishonored game because I'd like to play one again that I enjoyed.
Sure.
It would be fun. I don't know if they're going to go up that tree again. I think if they do a Dishonored 3, I think at that point you're getting into it's being saturated. But this is not a saturating type of game. And with the game only releasing 2 years ago, I think it's too soon for anything Dishonored like.
Okay.
That's my opinion. Maybe we'll see a Brink 2.
I forgot Brink was even a thing. Wait, was that
that was Bethesda? That was Bethesda. That was the worst thing they did. That game, and actually, I can't remember. I don't think it was made by them. It was definitely published by them. It was definitely published by them, and it was the worst game ever.
Yeah, like I remember it being hyped up because that's when I worked
Oh,
at the
it was
Huber
huge.
GameStop.
Yeah.
They were hyping it up to be some big thing, and then it flopped.
It died. Oh, yeah. It was not, yeah, it was bad day.
Do you think we see anything else from Bethesda then? Because my list is run dry.
You know, I hope we do, because really all we really listed off is every title we know except for Starfield, right? Everything else we've talked about, they're already games that we've already seen, right?
Sure.
Now Bethesda's, I guess that's asking a lot. I should take that back. Bethesda is a game studio, not Microsoft, not Sony, right?
Right.
So you can't expect a lot out of them to begin with. So I wouldn't be opposed if we don't. It'd be neat if they had some other little things, but because they're the game developers, they're the game studios, I would be okay if they didn't. I think if they show us Starfield, they show us more Fallout, they show us, we're going to see Rage, unfortunately, and they show us an Elder Scrolls something of anything, that's just, please, 6 of some sort.
You want another Skyrim port. I can see it in your eyes.
Dude, actually, if you didn't know this, they are porting Skyrim now on Fallout Pip-Boys. So you can play it in Fallout 4 on the Pip-Boy in case you need to. But, jeez, on Pete, Skyrim. You know, it's funny. I make fun of it. I have it on Xbox. I had it on the PC. I had the VR edition. I have it on Switch. If they made a mobile phone version of it, I'd probably buy it on. So, whatever.
I hope that they've milked that dry. Like, I just leave it alone. I know it's a great game. It's never been my thing, but I understand why people enjoy it.
Right. It's the thing is that, you know, are they milking it? Sure. But people buy it. Like,
oh, yeah.
Is it really a wrong thing to do to make one of your most successful games everywhere available?
No, because in my opinion, I think that's great because it's accessible at that point.
It's accessible.
You're making sure that nobody that has any sort of console is not able to play your game.
Fallout 4 on Switch. I think that'll be a little thing. I think it'll be a little thing they announced. Okay. I think That'd see Fallout 4 on Switch. Now, Fallout 4 is a lot. They did talk about how much is in Fallout 4 is a big game, but I could see that.
Well, think about how they're doing Resident Evil 7 on the Switch, where they're doing the cloud stuff.
Exactly. It's a really weird to do it, but yes.
Because I mean, it's Doom and Wolfenstein those are like the two big AAA titles that we got announced for Switch. Is that right?
What is that? Say it again. Doom and Wolfenstein
for the Switch.
Doom's already on Switch.
Sorry, like that's what I was saying. Like they're already on the Switch, right?
Yeah, we have Doom. I believe they have Doom. They have Wolfenstein. They have Skyrim. So the only major Bethesda title that they are missing is Fallout. And maybe they do Fallout 3 instead, which would be really dumb. I'd buy it in a heartbeat, though. I would love to replay Fallout. I like Fallout 3 story better than Fallout 4, so I'd love to go replay it again. But I think it wouldn't surprise me if we get Fallout 4 on Switch.
Yeah, and I mean they've had such success bringing their IPs to the Switch. It would make sense. You might as well make sure it's accessible everywhere. They've been like the Switch's like #1 supporter.
Oh yeah,
as far as like bringing
those
their
are
games.
Big titles.
They're huge.
Right, they're extremely huge titles. It works, and it's on a portable system. Like that's a huge thing.
That's the biggest thing, man. It's on a portable system. That's the biggest thing for sure.
Yeah.
Well, moving on, and this one won't be as long, but this is Square Enix.
Okay.
I don't know how much you don't strike me as a big Squares guy.
I respect them. I respect the games they release 100%. They are big titles, and they are very important to our gaming culture. I just never got into a lot of them. I tried, but I just haven't.
Well, we'll see how much back and forth we can do here. If not, I at least have 4. Okay. The biggest one that I know we're going to see, so I guess it's not a prediction. Kingdom Hearts 3 release date.
Yep, Trey actually wrote that as well.
Good.
He thinks we're going to have a Kingdom Hearts 3. I think they need to, right? I mean, this
game's been
in the works for how long?
I could be wrong, but I thought it was confirmed. Like, I thought they said that we're getting the release date for E3.
Well, good.
Yeah, I mean, it's been in the works for so long. We know it's coming this year at some point, but give us, like, an actual date.
Now, that's not PlayStation exclusive, right?
Correct. It's open to Xbox as well.
I will probably play that one.
Good.
I never played the first two. Well, that's not true. I played the first one a little bit. I played it, and it was at the point to where, to me, because I wasn't, and we've had these podcasts before where we talked about how, like, Final Fantasy, it just looked too dated for someone who never played it before to really get into it.
Sure. That's honestly, I like that they re-released all of the games on PS4 because it makes it easier to go back and replay them.
Right.
Because there are some that I haven't played yet that I want to get around to before 3 comes out. and I've just had them this whole time, and it's just been sitting there. So
But
I'm excited
I would probably
to
pick up that.
Oh yeah, it's great that they're bringing it to Xbox, and with them bringing it to Xbox, I wouldn't be too surprised if they brought those remasters to Xbox.
I hope
as well.
they do. If they did that, I would pick those up in a heartbeat. And then I have a PS4. I just again we've had these discussions. I only keep it for my exclusive big titles.
Yeah.
And it's 100% worth it because those exclusive big titles, like, look, I'm not that big into God of War. I respect it again for what it is, and it is fun. But I have that system for those games.
Sure. Yep.
So maybe it wasn't a big hit for me, but it was a big hit, and I at least have the accessibility to play it.
Right.
That's
right.
why I have it.
Yep. Do you have anything before I go down my list for Square?
I'll kind of mix mine in Trey's because I had some
Cool.
things and Trey kind of said some as well. So me and Trey both think we'll get a new Hitman of some sort.
Nice. Okay.
Like and I don't know how Trey thinks of Hitman, but in my terms, I know Moonpickle's a huge Hitman fan. It's like one of his favorite games is Hitman.
Wait,
I
Trey?
think or Moonpickle. Moonpickle.
I was
One
like-
of Moonpickle's favorite games is Hitman. He's a
Okay.
huge Hitman game. Same with Riley from Average Geeks. Huge Hitman fan.
Cool.
I would like to see if they do another Hitman game. I don't want to see an episodic Hitman game like they did the last one.
Right.
I want a full-fledged Hitman game because I would buy that. I didn't do the episodic thing because the whole thought of an episodic Hitman it didn't appeal to me. But I would play a Hitman game, like a full-fledged Hitman game.
Right, for sure. I never got into them, but I loved the way that the last one looked. The way you could take out people in just so many different ways.
The
It was a
contracts
lot of
and
fun.
stuff were neat. Mhm.
Yeah. And they were all timed, right? To where
were.
you'd only had... I like that idea. I think it's cool. And we've had that discussion with Pokemon even. Having timed legendaries and stuff.
Yes.
So, I mean, making it so
Yes.
you always have a reason to go back.
Correct.
Next on my list, and you'll probably appreciate this one. This is another one that I think you would pick up.
Okay.
The Avengers game that they announced.
I forgot all about that game. They haven't
Right?
talked about it in forever. I would, yes, 1,000 times yes, I would pick that game up in a heartbeat. I hope
For
we see
sure.
that. My gosh, now is the time too.
So that's my thought process behind it, and maybe that's why we haven't heard about it in so long. I mean, if they've been working with Marvel, they've known the movie timeline, so they probably planned it out to where Avengers hype is at an all-time high right now.
Oh yeah.
It makes sense to release your game after that.
Oh yeah.
So I could honestly see us getting. It's been quite a while since we got that teaser, so I could see them showing off gameplay and a release date. I could see it coming out this year even.
That would be amazing. I would absolutely love a good Avengers game.
The only thing that scares me is just because that's the way that Square works. Think about how long we've waited for Kingdom Hearts 3. How long we've waited for the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Right.
I mean, they have these games that everyone wants to play, and they're working hard on them. I'm not saying don't rush them by any means, but they take their time with it. It might be a while until we see anything else, but I at least expect to see a trailer of some sort, if not a release date.
Honestly, I would expect it to be after Part 4 or Part 2.
So you think? Interesting. So you think it's actually going to tie in with the movies?
Not even necessarily tie in with the movies, but in case of spoiler reasons, for whatever reasons of anything, I think they would release it because Avengers is going to be right back up where it is right now once the next movie launches. And if they were to show it off this year and say the movie comes out next May,
Sure.
and they release it at the end of next May, your game's selling. Your game's selling like hotcakes. Like
For sure.
it'll be bonkers. So
Oh,
I think that's a
I misunderstood. You're saying it's releasing after Avengers 4.
Correct.
I thought you were saying the game will take place after, like game, like the story itself would take place. That's why I said that.
No.
Okay,
I mean
see
the
what you're saying.
release
Yes.
date would be after 4 because of that reason.
Yep.
Would be a smart move on their part.
I agree with you then, 100%. That's the time to do it. So yeah, keep the hype going with a trailer. Release it after Part 4. You're going.
Maybe have a beta of some sort, right? Maybe have just
Yeah.
a little online test server beta of something. Because did it look like an online game? I didn't see a whole
There
lot
was
of it,
nothing.
but
All they did
it
was
was-
show. I think they showed Iron Man's helmet, Cap's shield, and maybe Thor's hammer.
Okay.
They didn't show hardly anything.
Okay.
So we have no idea what it's going to even play like.
Because you'd assume if it's Avengers, you'd want to be playing Avengers with your friends, right? I mean, that would be the thought, maybe? I mean, I don't know.
I would hope so. I would hope it's at least some sort of co-op kind of game.
RPG multiplayer game.
Yeah.
We can only hope.
Yeah. Do you have anything else for Square?
So Trey and I both agreed we'll probably see a Final Fantasy VII trailer. We'll get more on Final Fantasy VII.
I hope. I really do.
Trey also thinks, and I highly doubt this, but Trey also thinks we'll get something for Final Fantasy 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean,
Like,
I don't.
maybe?
I want him to be right for sure
Right.
because I want to see the next Final Fantasy game as well because I loved 15. Like 15 blew me away. I did not expect to get into it as much as I did. Now, I could see them announcing it because they announced 15 years ago and it took them a long time, just because that's how Square is.
Right.
So I would not be upset in the slightest if they at least announced it.
Okay.
So
'Cause
I'd be behind that for sure.
The only Final Fantasy thing I think we'd get, like, other than 7, would be more 14 stuff. Like, I think they'll throw out a 14 expansion and they'll show some stuff like that. That's the only Final Fantasy thing I think of.
Okay. I mean, other than that, the only other thing I had was Tomb Raider gameplay. I think we'll probably see, because Shadow of the Tomb Raider's coming out this year, so we'll probably see some more on that.
Right.
Nothing surprising though. So really, other than their big flagship this year is going to be Kingdom Hearts 3 for
Of course.
sure.
It has to be. Has to be.
You know, still following up with I think their other big surprise could be following up with Avengers. And I did also see a rumor that they had another Marvel game that they were working on that was like untitled. So who knows if we get a teaser for that or?
Hey, I don't care. They can throw all the
true.
Marvel games at me right now. That'd be great. Go for it. Have fun.
I would like to. I would love to see more of these bigger studios take on superhero games because I think growing up we realized that there were just no good superhero games.
Right.
Or if they were, they weren't.
Superman 64. What are you talking about?
Right. They just weren't fantastic. So I'm glad that we've got people like Rocksteady, that showed us what a good superhero game can be. And now we've got Activision. Oh, I know. And now we've got Activision working on Spider-Man, which looks amazing. So we know it can be done. Square's bringing Avengers. I hope this just like sets a trend for what superhero games will be moving forward. But yeah, that's all I have for Square, unless you've got any final notes. Cool. Moving on to Ubisoft.
Yep.
And I'll touch on this first. Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay.
We already know it's announced. Taking place in the Greek era.
Right.
So we can expect a lot of 300 Spartan style stuff, which I'm looking forward to.
Kick the guy.
Right. Yeah. That little teaser just with the Spartan kick that was perfect.
Right.
I'm excited for it. I like that. I like the architecture. I like the timeline. If it plays like Origins, because I dropped Assassin's Creed for a couple years, I loved it up until Black Flag. I was very mixed on Black Flag, and after that I
like
stopped.
Black Flag, actually. Of all the Assassin's Creed games, that was the one I enjoyed.
And a lot of people liked it because the ship battles, which I can understand.
It's still probably one of the best pirate games out there. Like Sea of Thieves is really good, and it's phenomenal. But I still think as far as pirate games go, like Black Flag was still just probably a better pirate game.
Sure, yeah. And you didn't play Origins at all, right?
That's not true. I played it a little bit, and I think I liked it. I think I liked it. It was the only main reason I picked it up was the RPG elements of it. Like the battle numbers and stuff like that. Like that was the reason I mainly picked it up, and it was good. It was very fun. Yeah. I stopped playing it because other games came out that were more important to me.
Yeah.
So maybe if I would have picked it up when it if I would have picked it up when it first came out, I probably would have enjoyed it a lot more because I did like the whole thing that game brought to the table. It was different enough to where it probably would have grabbed my attention if something else didn't come out.
Right. And it's maybe kind of nerdy, but I love that I'm learning things as I'm going along playing Assassin's Creed.
Right.
Like I'm actually learning about history, which I've never really been big on.
If it's real.
Right. I've always liked like more mythology than I have like actual history. But with with Origins, like all the stuff I was learning with like how things worked, it was just really cool. But I was having fun the entire time. And with Origins, they actually came out with a it was like a history mode or museum mode, something like that, to where like you just went around and like you just learned things.
Right.
Like how cool would that be if schools actually used that to like teach Egyptian history? Yeah.
They can.
I think we could see something cool like that in the future, to where that's how kids get some, especially history. Maybe not so like math,
Right.
but you could do stuff like that with history and science
Right.
and stuff easily. That's going off on another tangent though. But as far as an actual prediction, I would say we'll see Division 2.
Oh, I forgot about Division.
And I think,
Ooh.
and I don't know, maybe I'm just getting on this train too much. I think we're going to see with the Battle Royale mode as well.
Okay, but Division would work.
It would
See,
work.
that's a thing.
I
Division,
agree with you. After your point earlier, I definitely see your point to it, and I think this one it would definitely work with.
Division, it would work well with. I would see it in the Division. I'm okay with it in the Division. What they need to do, in my opinion, to fix the Division, because the Division is a great concept, great idea.
Yep.
They need to make the combat way more intriguing than just bullet sponges. That's the reason it killed me. Like,
Sure.
literally, it was go from point A to point B, and between point A to point B to grab whatever you're trying to grab or do whatever you're trying to do. It was just bullet sponges. There was
Sure.
no, like, oh, look, the guy with the flamethrower. Oh, he has a ton of health. Let me just load into him a billion times. Like, and that's all that game was. The most fun that game had was when you went to the, what was that zone?
It's like the blackout zone or something.
Yeah, when you went to the PvP area was the best time of that game. So if they need to make it work, they can do an actual game mode like you said, because I don't know if they actually had game modes. I think the Division was one of those you log in and you're just in this world.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But if they do like a thing to where you can go to like, and it could work really good in the Division, because it could be one of those things that game would be great Hunger Games style. Hey, you're gonna drop in here, and if you win, you're gonna come back with a lot of loot for yourself and stuff that you can actually use in game, right?
Sure.
So that could work really well with the Division. So I really hope we do see something like that. And again, maybe it's not 100 people, maybe it's only 20, maybe it's you versus 20 other people, but
that concept is still
that
there.
concept could work extremely well with the Division. It would definitely get me way more into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were definitely all misled from what we saw from like the trailers and everything to the finished product.
It's like
Granted,
Watch Dogs all over again.
Right. I haven't. Oh, I forgot about Watch Dogs. What else do you think we'll see from Ubisoft this year, Tim?
One that I'm hopeful for, and Trey also said as well, I really hope we see, because I know they can do pirate games right, I hope we see more Skull and Bones.
Interesting. Because I think it was actually slated to come out sooner, but I think they pushed it. And this could just be me, just guessing here. I think they pushed it back because of Sea of Thieves.
And I'm okay. Like, so look, Sea of Thieves is fun. It really is. It is a fun time. It's a lot more fun with friends.
Right.
And I have I love Sea of Thieves, but I do have my beefs with it. But that's not for this podcast.
Sure.
But playing Black Flag and being like really one of the only Assassin's Creed that I really enjoyed because of how well the pirate element of it was.
Right.
I think that Skull and Bones can be very, very good, because they can take, in my opinion, what Sea of Thieves is lacking. Because Sea of Thieves is a very big. It is, you are on the same level as everybody all the time, no matter what.
All the time.
Which is fun, but can be boring at times. As to where Skull and Bones can make it to where, like, look, if you put 20 hours into this game, there's a chance you're going to have a way better armored, way better built ship than guy who put 3 hours into this game.
Yes.
And if guy who put 3 hours into this game comes sailing around to you, they might want to think about turning around.
Correct.
You know, like that's the kind of pirate game I want. Look, I'm okay with getting wrecked in a game. If it's my fault that somebody came after me and they're way leveled than me because I did something stupid to them, that's on me.
Sure.
Because they did add elements to Sea of Thieves where you can put like a little safety flag on there to tell people, hey, look, I'm a good guy. I'm not a dick, right? Which is good. That was a good element. But like, I think Skull and Bones can do very well. I think Skull and Bones can see what Sea of Thieves did, see what they need to do better at, and make a better game.
Okay. I think we will see a Splinter Cell game.
Yes. That was so.
I figured I would steal that from you.
Because
I knew it was coming.
Something. I was saving that for something. That game, I told you earlier. The game. This was off stream. There was one game that I really, really, really hope we see among all else. All other games at E3. I want to see Splinter Cell.
Really? This was the game?
This was the game. I want
Interesting.
to have another Splinter Cell game. You get your Metal Gears, all right, and you have fun with those, and they're good.
No,
games
not
and
anymore.
stuff. That's
I'm
true.
done.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right.
That's a sore subject, Tim.
That
hurts.
is. But, like, I am so ready for another Splinter Cell game. I know a lot of people didn't like Blacklist, and that's fine. Y'all didn't have to like it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for a couple of reasons. One, it had a very easy way to do speed runs, Mr. Trevor, and speed grades and stuff like that, and it was a fun time. It had a leaderboard system where, hey, you're doing this, you're doing level 1-1. Did you do it better than Trevor? Yeah, good job. Trevor, you can go back and try to do it better than Tim now. And it's that competition inside those little things that gets me.
Gotcha.
But Splinter Cell is my stealth game. Like,
Sure.
always has been, always will be. And I really hope we see that. I've heard it's teased. I heard something about Ghost Recon and stuff like that, and how there's stuff like that. I hope you're right. I hope we see it, and I hope it's as glorious as I want it to be. That is my big game for E3 is Splinter Cell.
Well, I feel bad that I took that from you. 'cause I
No,
knew you had a lot
that's
to say
okay.
that.
I got excited, so you're good.
What other than Splinter Cell do you either think we're going to see or that you're excited to see?
All right, so your number one game here that you're super excited about, I think we get a Just Dance 2018. How about you, Mr. Trevor?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
So that was a joke thing. Like that Trey actually wrote that because we
Nice.
because we know we're getting Just Dance. But I think, and this goes along with something Trey told me as well, and I agreed with him. I think we get some more Beyond Good and Evil.
Okay.
I think we see more on that for sure.
And I had that on mine as well, as far as Beyond Good and Evil. That's one of those games that I've always heard great things about, and I've just never gotten around to play it.
Right.
So if they do announce, I mean, the trailer last year was gorgeous. I mean, it was just a CGI trailer, but still, it had me excited for the kind of world that I would experience in that kind of game.
Right.
So I'm excited to see more Beyond Good and Evil 2. And I think if we get more information, that is really what's going to drive me into finally
Right.
playing it.
I
And that'd be
concur.
something that'd be fun for us to do since we've never played it, to
Yeah.
kind of build it up. Let's see. Actually, that's all I have for my list. You took my last one.
I have a couple more.
Okay, go for it.
This next one is Trey. Trey
Okay.
says, he thinks we might get another Rayman game.
Oh, yeah, I mean, because we haven't had anything since Legends, right?
Right, and so we haven't had anything since Legends, so he thinks we'll get another one. Because even Legends was still an Xbox 360 game. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah. I mean, it just keeps re-releasing. It's one of those games like Skyrim
Right.
that just keeps coming back.
He thinks we'll get a Rayman Legends.
Okay.
I think, and I know it's really close to its release date, I think we're going to get some at least information, whether it's upcoming content, whatever, for Crew 2, because that's their big racing game, and it could be really good. The Crew could be really good. Number one was pretty solid, but I think they're at least going to talk about the Crew.
Okay.
Those
I mean,
are the ones I
yeah, definitely not up my alley, but I could see that. So if that's the end of your list, I'm going on to one that I am personally very excited for,
Okay.
PlayStation.
Oh, okay, we're going to get a Sony. Woo!
Yep. So I'm a little not worried this year.
Okay.
But they basically came out and said, "Hey, we're focusing on these 4 games."
Oh, really? I did not hear that.
Yeah, so they're focused, and granted, they're all great games. So I'm excited to see more on all of them. I should have double checked before I said this, but I think the 4 games were, I know for sure it was Death Stranding, Ghost
Which
of
makes sense.
Yep, Ghost of Tsushima,
Yep.
Days Gone, and I think it was Spider-Man.
No,
So
no Last of Us?
Correct. Those are the
disappointing.
right. So those are the 4 that they said that they were going to be showing more content on. So starting with that, it just has me worried because I don't want them to forget the other things that they have announced.
It's kind of a weird thing to come out and say.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
hey, RE3 is going to consist mainly of these 4 titles. And
And-
you're
or
just like,
maybe-
oh, okay.
Maybe they're saying it because they don't want to get expectations up. Like maybe they're setting the standard. But I guess if we're just going to go down the list here, I'll start off with my number 1, Death Stranding.
Okay.
That's what I want to see more. I know Splinter Cell was you want to see more than anything.
Yep.
My more than anything this year is Death Stranding.
Yep. Makes sense.
I want gameplay, And if I'm being really hopeful, I want a release year.
Okay.
At least tell me that it's coming out in 2019.
I do want a gameplay. I do want gameplay of that.
I want to see.
I need to see something and how it works.
And I love how convoluted it is already. Like there's so many conspiracy theories and just nobody knows how it's gonna work.
You got
and I love that.
Bro. That's his masterpiece right
It
there.
is, man. Like this is going to be his masterpiece for sure. So I'm excited to see some actual gameplay from it. And if I'm hopeful, like I said, at least tell us it's going to come out in 2019. But I know that's
it's out right now. Go get it, Trevor.
Right.
Just for you.
I would leave E3 right then and there. I'm flying back early. It's cool.
It's at your house. Go get it.
So what about you, Tim? What is one thing you'd really love to see from?
I want to see Last of Us 2. Last of Us is still probably my favorite single player story driven game. Like that game had me in so many emotions. I've never went on an emotional roller coaster as much as I did with that game, and it is like it is phenomenal. Now sequels to something like that scare me because I never know how well it's going to live up to how the first one made me feel, right? But correct. I don't care because I need to see their story continue. I need to just I can't wait, and I want to hear more. I want to see more. And you know what? Believe it or not, The Last of Us also had a pretty darn good multiplayer too. It was really, really fun.
And that's something I never got around to.
It was extremely fun. It was competitive. You had to be clever. Like it was very well done.
Sure.
But more so the single player is what that game's about, and I want to see more of that world. I want to see more of their story. Like that is the big thing from Sony. I'd like to see them talk about. Like, granted, I guess I might not get that. I really hope Sony's lying about that. I mean, it's not necessarily lying, but like
I don't know, and I know I say that, but I don't know what it necessarily entails. It could just be like, hey, these are like the 3 big features. And they could still talk about other things.
Because you want to surprise us, and those aren't surprises.
Correct.
Like, that's the thing. Like, and that's the one thing I'll say about Sony that I think they lack on their presentations is I don't get surprised a lot at their things. It's not that I don't enjoy what they show off, because I enjoy seeing Spider-Man. I enjoy seeing these things here and there. But, like, other than Monster Hunter last year, nothing surprised me. Like, it was all more of what they've already announced. Here's some more of it. Just keep getting ready for it.
Okay. Sure. I mean, sometimes I can definitely see where they can set themselves up to be in a predicament to where they don't have any new announcements because everything that they're working on has already been announced. So all they have are really updates. So I can definitely I can see where you're coming from there for sure. Right. I would say next up on my list is definitely Ghost of Tsushima. From the guys behind.
I don't know this. Maybe I forgot what this is.
I think it was from Paris Games Week that it got announced. Because when me and Trey were at E3, we sat down with the guys from Sucker Punch, and we were asking them, so what are you guys working on? They're like, we're working on something secret, can't talk about it. And it was like a month later that we actually got to see the trailer.
Oh, so this is from Sucker Punch?
Yes, this is Sucker Punch.
Okay, so that makes me excited for it.
And it's it's definitely set in like the Japanese region, like samurai. So I mean, definitely it's like an old school kind of thing, at least from what I've seen. We don't really know much about it as far as like the gameplay, mechanics, story, but we're definitely going to see more of it. We're going to learn about the story for sure. We might even get a release year. I don't expect to release a date, but I expect to see a lot of gameplay and more details on the story.
Nice. So this title is very dear to my heart as well.
Okay.
It's right there with Splinter Cell. It just now popped in my head. I don't know why it took me to think about it, but I don't think we're going to see it. Like, I think we'll see Splinter Cell. That's the game I'm expecting to see to lose my shit on.
Right.
I don't think we'll see this, but if we do, just be ready, because if we're at that theater, and of all places to make it announced, it probably will be Sony's, and I understand why. But if this happens and we see gameplay of this, I'm going to stand up and do weird things. So just be ready. I hope we see a Resident Evil 2 remake gameplay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that, but yeah, it makes perfect sense now.
That would make me, because we're waiting for it. We've been waiting for it forever. Show me something. Oh my gosh! If they announce that'll help Sony win in my mind. That
Yep.
one title will help them do lots in my mind. So I really hope we see that.
And I'll say, because I definitely want to see that too. With as much as I loved 7, because you know I've never
Right.
played them as much as you have, but I loved 7. It was so fun,
So good.
So I'd love to see this remake of 2.
Did you ever
But
play
I-
2?
No,
That's why I want you to play it. Not
Okay.
I don't want you to play the older version.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing we talk about older games. You won't get
Yeah.
the same effect.
Sure.
But I really hope they make this because I want you to experience what was probably the best Resident Evil title of the franchise
sure.
in its glory. And I hope they don't ruin it. That's the thing. There's rumors, and I hope they don't ruin it. But I
Right.
hope everyone can hope for something.
I mean, and I know you want to see the remake, but honestly, I wouldn't mind a teaser for. And this is a long shot, but I would like to see what they have in store next for Resident Evil. As far as like Resident Evil 8.
For sure. I would be totally down to see a Resident Evil 8. Like, 100%. That would not disappoint me at all. Man.
That 2's been, I mean, it's been in the works for some time.
We know that
need
exists.
some kind of update.
We know 2 exists.
Yeah, we at least know that exists. Yeah,
It's just a
with
matter
you
of
there.
seeing it. So yeah. But go on, Mr. Trevor.
Let's see. Next up on my list, I'll go with God of War DLC.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
So I won't spoil anything here, but the way that it ends definitely sets it up for a sequel,
Okay.
within the same region.
Okay.
The only thing that has me skeptical on DLC is that I guess the guy behind it said he likes to ship a complete game. He doesn't
Okay.
like DLC. But the way that it ends, if that's the case, that means that we have to wait for the next game in the series, so God of War 2,
Right.
which I'm okay with, but I just know that that's going to be years out. And that's
Okay.
just disappointing because I got so into God of War. I thought it was fantastic. I actually went back and did some post-game stuff, which I really liked, which doesn't happen very often at all anymore. But there were regions within like the 9 realms of Norse mythology that they didn't get to. So it just makes me wonder if they're saving that for a game or if they could actually do DLC with it.
Okay. I could see that. It would make sense. They're going to keep growing their big title, right? So
Yeah.
why wouldn't they keep doing that?
Oh yeah, like we know it's not a dead IP by any means, especially after how successful God of War was.
I'm just going to read this just because someone just wrote this in chat, and I want to read this specific title that they wrote in there. It would be really neat because this was also on PlayStation to see a Legends of Dragoon remastered.
Okay.
I would be down. That was from our good friend Happy Die. I really hope we see that. Actually, I'd be completely down. Because did you ever play Legends of Dragoon?
No. Nope.
It's a very fun RPG, extremely good RPG. So I really do hope we see that. That's a good prediction from that gentleman.
Awesome.
As far as my next big one, I hope we see more on the Bloodborne teaser that we got. Right,
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope that's what that is because I don't know if they ever got confirmed
They
necessarily.
didn't. All we know is that it's from Software, and the tagline was "Shadows die twice" or something like that.
You're right.
So very, very cryptic, but it definitely looked. It could very easily be. You could take that as a Bloodborne teaser for sure.
So I hope that I hope we at least find out what that was.
yeah.
I hope it's Bloodborne. I do. I hope it's a
Yeah.
Bloodborne 2.
Right.
Or Demon Souls 2, whatever, or just Demon Souls Remastered, whatever. But either one of those realms
Yep.
of possibilities would be phenomenal. So I
Sure.
really hope we see what that was, and I hope it's one of the titles that I hope it is.
Yep. And I'd be cool with that too. I would like to see Bloodborne. I know you hate me for it, Tim. I have it. I just haven't played it yet.
It's okay. You haven't played any of the Dark Souls though either, right?
Yeah, I bought 3. I bought 3 on Black Friday
So-
like 2 years ago and never.
When we do another one of our charity streams, you are going to play one of those. That's going to be one of our things.
Sure, I'm down. Yeah, I'm down.
You
100%.
are going to play one of those games. I'm going to have you play one of those games.
That's fair. So if I came up with the donation incentive that you have to sing Toxic, that's fair that I have to play Dark Souls.
Yep.
I'll own up to that. Next one on my list, and this again, maybe not so a prediction, but maybe a hope. I would love to see a Horizon sequel. And
I could see that.
I'll be honest. I started playing it. I haven't beat it yet, so I don't even know if it sets up for a sequel at all. The whole reason that I stopped playing is because I wanted to wait until I had a PS4 Pro. I wanted to experience it, the best way I could.
Did you get that, by the way?
Yes. Yep. I did get my
okay.
Pro. I got the God of War one. So
right.
now that I have beat God of War, I'm ready to go into Horizon again and start fresh. But that's something I think would be. It's a great new IP from them. I would like to see them continue it.
Yep.
I know the DLC that they had for it was received very well too. So, yep, I'd just like to see more on that IP.
One from Trey that hasn't been said yet is a medieval release date.
Oh
more
yeah,
on that game.
I forgot about that. Yeah, they did say they were, and that was one of those like remasters, correct?
Correct. That was a remaster because it's a I believe it's a remaster. I don't think it's a new medieval. I think it's a remastered medieval.
Okay.
Which medieval was fun. It was a fun game.
Cool. For mine, I want to see more on Spider. I know we're going to see more on Spider-Man. We know it's coming in September. There's not a whole lot else that they really have to show. Honestly, they've shown plenty of.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean they've shown a lot of gameplay. They've showed story trailers, and it's only 3 months away at this point.
Right.
So, I guess I'm just throwing it out there because I know we're going to see it. I know it's going to be one of their big titles because it's so soon.
Right.
Who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us. Like maybe they'll come up with some crazy feature that they haven't announced yet.
Right.
Like at the end of the trailer last year, the other kid yelled at Miles, so it teased that Miles Morales is in the game, which Trey went crazy over. Yeah, we'll see more of that. I'm not sure what it'll entail, but
so Trey also has Shenmue 3. I'm not sure what that is, but Trey thinks Shenmue 3.
That was they actually kickstarted that game. So they announced it and then it got funded on Kickstarter and I think it got pushed back. So I could definitely see them, since it got pushed back, maybe we get some more information finally on it. I was never a Shenmue fan myself, or I never got it. I shouldn't say that. I never played them.
Right.
So yeah, I know it got kickstarted successfully and then pushed back, so it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to see that.
Okay. Do you think we're going to see more like PlayStation VR games?
I could see them, honestly, even doing a version 2. I could see them improving
virtual shop, is that what you said?
A version 2, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I could see them improving on the hardware because it's been out for 2 years now, maybe 2.5. It's been out for a while.
About a year and a half now, I think.
Wow, really? It feels like longer. But I could see them. Yeah. I mean, now that I forget how the timelines match up, but I could see them coming out with new hardware. Just that.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it's been 2.5.
But I mean, regardless, I could see them coming out with new hardware to support maybe these better-looking games. Right. Especially now that we have the Pro, which I think that's one of the benefits that the Pro had when it was originally sold, I guess.
Yep.
But maybe just for the fact that the current VR headset has that screen door effect pretty heavily.
Right.
So maybe they can improve it a little bit. Maybe have your premium headset have the current one that's still compatible.
Right.
Kind of like what they do now with the Vives. You've got your. Is it just the Vive 2 or what is it?
Vive Pro.
Vive Pro. Thank you.
Yep.
What about you? Anything else?
Honestly, I'm trying to think off the top of my head at this point. I don't think I have anything. If I think of something, I'll tell you. But what about yourself? Do you have anything else on your list?
The only other thing I had on here was Days Gone, which again, not necessarily a prediction since I already said it's going to be there. Right. But I'd love to see more gameplay. The way that it's set up looks really fun. Just the hordes of zombies are just unlike anything we've seen in a game before.
Right. It's just a lot.
Tons. And I mean, it's like they swarm.
Right, exactly.
I would like to see. I feel like I just keep saying the same thing for each title, but I'd like to see a release, at least a release year. But honestly, I could see this one coming out this year, just because of the gameplay that we saw last E3. Right. I could see it being so far along that it actually comes out this winter.
Do you think we see more on this Walking Dead game from Sony's end?
Wait, was that Sony?
Well, it's not Sony. I don't remember which studio is making it, but there's
games like that. It was a smaller studio, wasn't it?
Right, but there's games like that it's supposed to look really good. Because the other thing, and we kind of skipped over this, and I forgot to mention it. who's going to show off Call of Duty?
Who's paying the most? That's all it comes down to.
It's interesting because PlayStation's had them for a while now, right? It was Xbox and it was PlayStation, but I believe, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, at the end and or beginning of the newest Black Ops trailer,
Sure.
it was actually Microsoft advertisement, not Sony advertisement. Because and the only reason I think I remember that is because I kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, wait a minute, why is Microsoft being advertised on this? It's been a Sony thing for a long time.
Sure. Oh, everyone in chat right now, Happy Dice saying that it's actually a 10-year contract with Sony.
Which okay, I mean that makes sense. It just it threw me off.
Sure.
When I saw that, but and Battlefield 5 is with Microsoft. Okay, so we'll probably see Battlefield, a little bit more Battlefield probably at Microsoft Studio because that does happen. I've seen them show it off at E3s and then see it off. Like that does happen.
Sure.
Man, there was another title I was going to bring up that was between the two, Microsoft and Sony, and I can't remember what it was, but I was going to say it was definitely going to be shown off at Sony's just because it's more of a Sony thing, but I can't think of it, so it doesn't matter. Yeah,
that I'm not too sure of. I think that's it for me for PlayStation, for Sony, yeah. I mean, they're going to have a solid year, regardless of if there's any surprises or not. The titles that they are showing off are just so huge, they're going to be successful.
I think they're going to do something other than games. They're going to do something to revamp their online stuff, or do something. I think they're going to show off something to kind of like, hey, this is the future of what PlayStation stores are going to be, or anything, anything like that.
Sure. I think that's one thing that they might lack a little bit with. Well, no, I take that back. Because I like their free games with PlayStation Plus more than I like Xbox's free games.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like just the quality of
Hands
the titles
down.
that they have there.
Little Big Planet?
Oh, yeah, good call.
Little Big Planet. I just thought about that because yes, Little Big Planet. I'd love to see a PS4 Little Big Planet.
And I think there's another one I think was announced called Dream.
Oh, I forgot that they were doing that game.
Yeah.
You're right.
I know the name, but I can't pick. I
think that's what it was called, though. It was something like that. It was Dream, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I remember them showing it off. It was weird, but I do remember that.
I mean, it's like a creative kind of game, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So there's like a huge engine to create your games and stuff like that. Yes.
So I'm sure we'll see more on that. I mean, they've done a good job with the creative titles, such as or like going back to like Little Big Planet. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was a lot of fun to be able to create your own levels and then go through them or have other people go through them. It was
the best part was when you spent 3 days creating a level just to find out if you shoot too much paint, the whole level collapses upon itself. That was my favorite part.
Which, honestly, with that being said, that brings me to a good transition point to it's actually our last topic on this podcast is Nintendo.
Yes.
So I just want to jump right into it because you were talking about building levels. Mm-hmm. I would love to see another Mario Maker, man.
I've been saying that since the Switch was released. This is, it's funny because I've said that for a while, and I look it up all the time. Just to see if there's any stupid thing I missed on it, right? And I read an article, and it did bring up a good point as to how it would work, because it works well on the 3DS and the Wii U because they have the dual screen mode.
Right.
On the Switch, you don't have that dual screen mode.
That's true.
And if you think about, and trust me, I want this. God, I want this game. But if you think about it, it would be really tough to using a joystick to drag and drop and do this and do that and do that. It would not be nearly as easy as what it was. So maybe if they do come out with a Super Mario Maker, maybe they have a peripheral to go with it. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of how it can be done. Because now it's not a matter of will they do it, it's a matter of how they can do it.
The only other thing I can think of there is if they allow you to use the Joy-Cons to like point in, like say you have you've got your items on this side of the screen.
Right.
And you've got the level design here, you can like drag and drop, like you're just kind of point, drag, put it on the level.
I guess that could work, but
I know it's not as technical as, like having the stylus and stuff.
Right.
But I'm going to double dip here.
Okay.
Going on the same thing as building your own Mario levels, I would love a Zelda dungeon creator.
That would. Ooh.
So instead of just building your Mario levels, building a dungeon. Oh, like over. I'm talking like
Are you doing
top
2D
down.
Zelda?
I'm
Like
yes,
top view down.
top
Zelda.
down.
Okay.
I'm talking top
Zelda.
down Zelda dungeons.
Okay.
And you can do the same thing to where you change between the different looks, throughout the years.
Right.
Going all the way up to like a modern one that would look great on the Switch back to NES.
Right.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd be not upset about that one bit.
Yep.
Those creative games are always fun, especially with Nintendo.
It's not likely, but just throwing it out there, I want to see
We're
it.
allowed to have dreams. That's what E3 is about.
We're allowed to have our dreams that can be crushed. So I kind of double dipped there. So go ahead. What do you want to see from Nintendo, Tim?
I want to see Pokemon Core. I want to see the Pokemon Core game. Like, yes, that's right. I'm saying it. I know we already got something on it like a week ago, but I want to see something in the Pokemon Core game. Or you know what? Even if they show me more of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, I just give me more stuff. I am curious if Nintendo has another handheld console in the works. Do you think they have another handheld console in the works?
Nope.
You sure?
I do not think so at all. I think the 3DS is at the end of its life. I think they're going to start doing more with the Switch as far as their mobile games.
So that's an interesting point, because if that's the case, if they're going to kill off the main reason basically every other developer hasn't made a portable gaming system, does that leave the window open again for a PlayStation handheld or something like that? Because
I don't think so, man.
You gotta take it from the point of, if 3DS dies out and the Switch is all you have, sure, it is a good portable system. It works well. But I think there's still more to be made in a handheld console. I really do. I think portable, like little portable handheld consoles have a place in this world. It's just a matter of that fit. And Nintendo did it best.
Yeah.
Like these are high
I see what you're saying. No, I see what you're saying. I think that the Switch is just too, I don't know, it has that niche too much that I don't think anyone else can compete still, even if they stuck with that. And I don't think that they're killing off the 3DS. I just feel like they can't improve upon it anymore.
They can. There's nothing else to be improved upon.
And there's not really, with as portable as the Switch is, at some point you have to realize that, okay, the Switch is the predecessor to the 3DS as much as it is the Wii U.
Right, but the Switch had the dual screens. Or not the Switch, the 3DS had the dual screens.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of games you can't play without those dual screens properly.
I guess the only reason I'm saying I don't think we'll see it, we're bringing the core Pokemon game to the Switch.
And I want to see more of it.
Yes, and I
I want to see that game.
Trust me, there's a lot on my Nintendo list that I hope to see that I know I will not be seeing.
Do you think we'll see it, though? Do you think we'll see core Pokemon at all?
No.
Even though it's less than a year away?
Nope. I don't think we'll see it.
They did say the first half of 2019, right?
The second half.
Wait.
They said the second half of 2019.
Oh, well, now I'm not as excited. But okay, whatever. So then that'll be a next year.
All
right, well, ruined my life.
I'm excited to see more on Pokemon Go. I think we will see more on that. Or Pokemon Let's Go, sorry. I'm excited for it. It'll tide me over till the core game. But that's a previous podcast that I will not get into.
Right.
So if that's yours, I'll go ahead and I'll go with another. Yep. Well, yep. No, I won't even get to that one yet. I want to see Pikmin 4. I want Pikmin 4 so bad, man. The Pikmin games were amazing. It's one of my favorite games on the GameCube. The Wii U one wasn't as great, but they're still such fantastic games. I want to see it on the Switch. Were you ever a big Pikmin fan at all?
No. So I respect Pikmin for what it is again, and I respect the people who play it and enjoy it, and I can see the draw to it. I can. The draw is really neat because it's a creative strategy game, right? Where you have to have certain Pikmin that can do certain things. They do things, and you build an army.
Different elements and shit.
Yeah, and it's a really neat concept. I just couldn't get into it myself, but that's just me. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Pikmin game. What would it be, Pikmin 4?
Pikmin 4 at that point, yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless they did, because they did that 3DS one last year, and that was just disappointing.
Right.
Waste of the IP, in my opinion.
Right.
since someone brought it up in chat, I've seen Fortnite on the Switch,
No,
which would be
Fork
nice.
Knife.
Fork Knife, sorry.
Yep.
Seeing Fork Knife on the Switch will be great.
But will it though?
Even if it's not, I don't know, man.
You're talking about a 100-player battle royale system on an online connectivity that Nintendo just really hasn't done well with.
You're right. I didn't think about the way that Nintendo's online is set up. You're right. I take it back. I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
So I would like to see it work. I would.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be mobile, right? It wouldn't be mobile at all, unless
not in the sense of like taking it on a bus or something, but
Right.
mobile in the sense that you're not tied to your TV.
Right, but but that's the thing with Switch is you're supposed to be able to take it on planes and stuff and do all this stuff, but you
Sure,
can't play
sure.
that game that way, right? But again, that's a sacrifice in playing that game. The game's freaking free to play. Are you really going to complain about a free to play game? No.
Right.
But if they did bring Save the World edition, that would be really neat.
Yeah, I could see
that can have single player elements to it. But my biggest worry is the stability of their online connection. I think we get more about their online services too. They need to tell us more about their online services.
I hope so.
They do, because it's not well at all.
And I don't want to take another spot away from you, but since it's already been announced, Smash Brothers. I think because Smash Brothers is going to be their focus this year, I think we do see a lot about their online.
We're going to get rosters, I'm sure. I'm sure we're going to get a roster of Smash Brothers, at least some of the roster.
It's confirmed that we're getting a release date.
Okay, because that's what Trey says, roster, and release date would make sense.
Well, because it's playable. Like, we're going to be hands-on with Smash. We're going to be playing Smash on the Switch in like a week, Tim.
That's true. That's a very... Can we just like steal the game cartridge and put it on our Switch?
And we just got blacklisted from E3. We just got blocked from E3. Perfect. I will... Because we get to sign up. The way they're doing it, we actually get to sign up on June 5th. They're sending us an email. We actually get to schedule time to play Smash on the Switch. So I'm
okay with
excited.
that. Hopefully it's better than Sony's sign-up time system. My God.
Gone within 10 seconds.
Dude, it was bad. And Trey was the only one to get slots.
Yeah. Trey
the
did
whole
it very
time.
well, for sure.
Oh my gosh.
But I didn't mean to. You just mentioned the online, so I just wanted to jump on
good.
about Smash real quick. So go ahead and take yours.
So I'm going to steal this one completely from you. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't do that to you. Again, another one from Trey and I. Bayonetta 3. I think we see Bayonetta 3.
I hope so. I would love to see more Bayonetta.
Yep, I think we see Bayonetta 3. I think we see more content from it. That's definitely a thing, for sure.
And especially with like they've already released 1 and 2 on the Switch now. So if they announced it a year ago, we at least have to have, I would think, gameplay at this point.
Right.
I could see it coming out 2019. I don't expect it to be this year, but at least show us, some progress on it.
You know what wouldn't surprise me? And this is a weird announcement, and you know what? Actually, I take it back. It probably won't happen. Just because of Bayonetta and what it is and who created Bayonetta, I wouldn't be surprised if they announced that Devil May Cry comes to it, like the remastered of Devil May Cry.
Interesting.
And the only reason I bring it up is because Bayonetta is made by that same thing, so it wouldn't surprise me. It makes sense. It's a long shot, but if it gets announced, you heard it here first.
Sure. Well, since you were kind of hinting at it,
Can only imagine what this one will be.
Animal Crossing, man. It has to happen. The Switch is perfect for Animal Crossing.
It is the perfect console for Animal Crossing.
I just want to be staying up until 4 a.m. fishing, looking for that little ghost that's going around the village. I want to be in debt. I want to upgrade my house.
I want to be in debt.
I want to collect gyroids again. Those were awesome. Gyroids, whatever you want to call them. Those were cool. I want to see this I want to see the same style gameplay on a larger scale. Oh, what's up? We've got Zach the Ogre. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate you. We're just getting into talking about our Nintendo predictions. Specifically Animal Crossing.
Yeah. This is all it's been this whole time, by the way, if you just tuned in.
Right. We've actually just been talking about Animal Crossing for 2 hours. It's just perfect, man. You know it's perfect. I know it's perfect. Everybody knows it's perfect. Yep. But do we see it announced? I don't know.
don't know.
The fact that they released that mobile game
Oh, dude.
makes me feel like they did that to kind of build up the hype for Animal Crossing again.
Right.
So and again, that's just me being hopeful.
Right.
Show me something. Show me something about an Animal Crossing for Switch. I'm going to ask for the world from Nintendo this year. There's a lot on my list. I'm not even halfway done.
You're not even halfway done?
No, I'm not even halfway done.
Well, this is going to be a lot of you then. This is going to be a lot of you.
I mean, I think the last good one was New Leaf on 3DS, which was almost perfect.
It was great.
The Wii one was terrible. City Folk did not enjoy that one at all. So I'm hoping that it takes more notes from New Leaf to where like the mayor aspect was really cool.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to add new things to the village again.
Okay.
And I think I'm trying to think how we described it previously because we talked about it on one of our mini podcasts where Animal Crossing comes up, to where we could connect villages.
Yes.
Which is, I think that would be cool. You have this little community. You have the fam community of villages.
Perfect. It'd be perfect. They could do this game. Like, oh my God. Just imagine how awesome that would be.
Yep.
The fam town.
So I'll say maybe one other way that they could improve it, because previously as mayor you could add things to your village. Maybe in this new one you could landscape a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe you could add a waterfall. Maybe you can like direct where a river goes, or make a river into like a lake at some portion. Right. So maybe you could do some landscaping there. I don't know.
They could just give us our dream in a game.
Right.
That's all we're asking for.
Yeah, I'm just asking for Nintendo to give me exactly what I want.
Right. Can you just do that? If you don't, I'm going to be upset.
I would. But I won't. I could ramble on about Nintendo forever. What's next on your list?
So the next one I'm going to say, because it was said in chat, and this is also Trey's. He wants to see some Metroid 4. Metroid 4.
Metro 4?
Metro 4.
Yeah, man. Metroid Prime is such a solid series, man. When you were there when we were sitting waiting to get into E3 last year when everyone's on their phones watching it.
That was the best.
And the logo, like the music and the logo hit with the 3, and everybody just was like, "Oh my God!"
We're all
everyone was
yelling.
yelling.
To get in there.
It was awesome. It was like I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
It was so good.
Yeah, please.
It's like a wave of sound you just heard.
It was so cool. Just do it justice. I feel like Metroid Prime 2 was my favorite of the series. That was Echoes. Were you a big Metroid person, Tim?
I played them. I enjoyed them, but it wasn't like my go-to game all the time. You know what I mean? Like I enjoyed it. It was fun, but it wasn't something that I craved. But I understand the seriousness of it.
Sure. And I mean, because I just love the Metroidvania style of getting the different beams and the suits and being able to go, you backtrack into different areas. And I'm just looking forward to it, man. I want it to just evolve from what it has been. I think Echoes was a great step in evolving Metroid Prime. 3 was kind of iffy. I think that's just mainly because it was on the Wii. Right. So now that it's on the Switch, I think they can maybe redeem themselves and do some great things with Metroid Prime 4. And who knows what we see from it. I mean, they did Metroid Prime Hunters on the DS. They could maybe do something with their multiplayer and maybe bring some multiplayer to Metroid Prime 4.
Could.
Did you ever play Hunters on DS?
I did. I did play the Hunters on DS. It was okay.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So you took Metroid Prime 4. I think we definitely see gameplay, and I think we get a release date.
Metro?
Yeah.
Metroid. Metro. I really want a Metro if you haven't heard it yet. Metro.
One that I'm really hoping for is Mario Party.
Okay, so...
I know.
That was on mine, but yeah.
So I feel like there are some things that, especially with we saw a lot of really cool mechanics that the Joy-Con makes use of with 1-2 switch. It can do a lot of really cool things. So I think you can do a lot of really fun mini games with Mario Party. But the way that these Mario Party games have gone, they've tried to innovate too much almost.
You've
had a great format, and I understand that you want to bring something fresh to it every time. But the fact that there was almost like no competition in a way.
That's the worst part. Is it's becoming a everybody gets a ribbon game.
Yeah. No, let me hate my friends. Let me get into a serious fight.
Right.
Let me want to punch Tim in the face because he just stole 5 stars.
Zach
from
doesn't
me.
want the pity coin.
Right.
Okay?
No
Don't give
pity
him
coin.
the pity coin.
The pity coin.
Oh, my gosh.
I just think there's a lot you can do with the mini games, which, let's be honest, that's the whole reason people play Mario Party is the mini
But
games.
that's where they could do the innovation at, is the mini games. They don't have to mess up the formula of the board game aspect. That's why people play it. It is a competition between your friends on a giant virtual board game with mini aspects to it that you can innovate in the mini game aspect of it.
Correct. Yep. You can innovate with the mini games and the boards. Like you can change the boards up to be really exciting. Just don't take away from the fact that it's a competition.
It's what it should have always been.
Don't move everyone in the same car thing down.
That was the worst one.
That was agreed. 100%.
Like, we're all in the same car together, guys. Stop. No.
Stop.
Kick you out of this car.
So yeah, that's what I would like to see is an actual good Mario Party.
Yes.
What about you?
Okay, so this one, I don't think this is as much of a long shot as I think it is. I think we get a Mother 3.
That was on my list too. I agree with you. I don't think it's as much of a. I know we've been asking for it for years.
Right.
But I think they're gonna listen.
I think it's justified.
Yep, I think it's justified. And the fact that, well, I don't know. The fact that we're not getting Virtual Console worries me because it would be great for them to bring back, like Mother 1 and 2, Earthbound, whatever you want to call it. That'd be great because I've never played them. Again, it's always been on one of my want to play lists.
Right.
But I think if we bring in Mother 3, that'll be huge.
It could be really big and different too. Like that's
Yep.
the best part is Mother 3 can just do well with what the Switch can do.
Yep.
So I think that will definitely happen. I think we get a Mother 3. I don't want to say I think it'll definitely happen. I just think it is 100% in the realm of possibility.
It's definitely in the realm of possibility for sure. One that I'm kind of skeptical on that I've heard rumors of is Star Fox Grand Prix. Have you heard this?
No, that sounds like a racing Star Fox game.
That's exactly what it is. This was rumored on 4chan with screenshots and a logo. So again, grain of salt, whatever. But yeah, that's all it is. It's a Star Fox racing game. Which does not excite me in the least, if I'm going to be honest. And I know I'm going to be in the minority here. I love Star Fox Adventure on the GameCube, to where you went around with the dinosaurs and you actually walked around as Fox. I want to see another game like that instead of just the standard star fights, which those are fun. But I loved the actual ground like puzzle solving and stuff.
Yeah. I don't
know.
Yeah,
a racing game. The only racing game I really want to see from Nintendo
F-Zero?
is F-Zero.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I mean, how many years has it? It's been since the GameCube, hasn't it?
Yeah. It has been... it's been a long time.
Yeah. It's been a very long time. What else? Do you have anything else?
I would like to see a new Donkey Kong Country game.
Okay, I'll take that.
Not Tropical Freeze, I want to see... Because I like the Donkey Kong Country games. They're fun.
Sure.
They're very challenging. So I would like to see a new Donkey Kong Country game.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not opposed to that either. I think the biggest long shot that I could ask for is a Virtual Console.
It's not happening. I wish it was. Gosh darn it, I wish it was.
I feel like we've just been whining it for so long, and there's been no word on it. Like, why is it so... I don't understand why it's tough.
They didn't even say it's tough. Did I tell you why they said it's not going to happen? Why one of the people came out and said it probably
No,
won't
I have
happen?
not heard this.
So one of the people, I can't remember exactly who it is, but you can look it up. It is online. It is on the internet, because I look, again, just like Mario Maker, I look online, Virtual Console, Nintendo Switch, stuff all the time, right? And the person basically stated that if you want their older classic games, you already have plenty of ways to get them. We don't need to implement it on the Switch.
You did tell me about that, yeah.
They have the NES Classic. They have the SNES Classic. They might be making a 64 Classic. So
that just blows my mind, man. That does not make any sense to me. If all you have to, Granted, I feel like I don't want to be one of those armchair developers. But I feel like it can't be that tough to, if you already have the assets of the game, to port it over.
Right.
But again, I don't want to be that guy. If it's not possible, or if it's too difficult, fine. It doesn't make sense to me, I guess.
It doesn't. I'm with you. I
just caught a bug.
That's ninja.
Oh my
training.
gosh, I don't know what to do with it.
You should go tell what's that guy's name from Karate Kid that you have completed his course now.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was on stream. I bet I got it on camera. Let's put some mana bottles in chat if you saw me catch that bug. Yeah, just put that in slow motion. I hope so. That'd be pretty cool.
But it's just like Virtual Console. Like you said, I don't want to be an armchair developer, or whatever, either. But like, I'm not buying an NES Classic. I'm not buying an SNES Classic. I'm not going to buy that. I will, however, buy Mario on my Switch if you ever put it on there.
Yep.
Because I already have that.
I would buy Super Mario World on my Switch in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You can charge me $10.
Yeah, 100%.
You can charge me
buy that.
$10 and I'd buy it.
That game is perfect. That is like my favorite classic Mario game.
It's just the fact that you can take it on the go, man. That's all it is.
That's all. That's what it's about. It's about that aspect of it. But they're just like, no. I mean, we already have multiple ways for you to have our classic games.
The one thing I will say about Virtual Console that I probably will say might be asking a little bit too much. I want to see GameCube games. I would love to see like bring in Sunshine and stuff. Like
oh my God, Mario Sunshine!
Yeah,
please.
that'd be really cool.
That's the only Mario game I asked for.
One other thing that I think we could see from Nintendo, I don't think it's very likely, but maybe a revival of Kid Icarus. That's one of those.
Of what?
Kid Icarus.
Okay.
Like they haven't really touched on it since that 3DS game.
Right.
And
I'd
like to see them bring back some of these older IPs that never really got enough love. I don't know. They just have this vast library, and I just don't know why they hold back so much. I don't know, man.
I don't know. It's the same reason they don't have a Pokemon MMO yet. It's just all in their back pocket when things start going south.
I know we won't see any Zelda. I know we won't see like a new Zelda.
Yeah, you're right, because they just did, what was that, the Game Awards? They announced the DLC, right? That was there, so that's pretty, we definitely won't
see a new Zelda. It's still fairly new.
We won't get a new
Mario.
It's maybe Mario DLC.
They're definitely in the works on both. I guarantee that they're working on both Zelda and Mario right now. But we won't get any information on it.
Right.
But let's end it on a strong note here. Let's talk about Smash a little bit.
Okay, Smash.
And I know we've done a previous podcast, but we know we're going to get a lot of information.
Correct.
I mean, we're going to be hands-on with it.
We are.
Which I don't know if you read. You actually get to sign up for one of two play styles.
Okay.
You get to sign up for either a competitive or a casual. As far as
because I'm not good enough for competitive at all.
And that's honestly what I would do too. Like I want to like bring in as much as I can about Smash on Switch instead of worrying about staying alive.
Right.
Who do you think we get? I don't think we're going to get a full roster. I would hope not.
Oh, no. I hope we don't. I don't want a full roster. I want surprises. Please, let there be surprises.
Do you think... so who do you think we actually get announced?
Mario.
Wow. Very, very surprising, Tim. One that I do want to talk about is Link. So we know that Link's in it.
Well, yeah, of course.
From the shadow, and
right.
Just because it's obvious. I'm wondering, because the way that they showed his silhouette, it's the Breath of the Wild silhouette.
Okay.
So my question to you is Breath of the Wild Link a separate character, or is it just the new model?
I think Breath of the Wild Link takes place over Toon Link.
Well, was Toon Link in the...
Oh, you're right. Well, yeah, Toon Link was in there, yes. Yeah, because I have the amiibo for it.
You're right. Yep.
Because I always use Toon Link. So I think they might still have Classic Link, but I think Breath of the Wild Link's still in it for sure. I mean, he's definitely going to be in it.
So you think Breath of the Wild is a completely separate character?
I think yes, but I think they take out Toon Link to put him in there.
Okay. See, I would like, and I could see that as well. I hope that they're two separate characters. honestly worried that they wouldn't be, but the fact that Breath of the Wild plays so differently, it would make sense to give him a completely different moveset.
Right.
Like you've got the Sheikah Slate powers. You
Right.
have just the random weapons that you pick up.
Right.
Like maybe he has maybe his his down B or something is like he just picks up like a random weapon. Like maybe it's a club, maybe it's an axe, maybe it's garbage. Who know? Like it could be whatever, but maybe there's some randomization there to where you get that different weapon.
Okay.
Or maybe you start off with one, when it breaks, you just get a random one.
Okay.
They could do a lot with Breath of the Wild Link. But even then, you could do new stuff with Mario too, with Cappy.
Right. I bet Cappy is definitely going to be a big part of it.
I would hope so. And I hope it's not like a Kirby style thing, to where like you take them over and then you can just like walk them off the ledge or something, or like I don't want it to be something cheesy, but I could see some cool attacks with it, even if it's just like a boomerang style thing.
Like, what if it's like this? This is really.
Yeah.
I don't think this will work. But what if you could throw Cappy on them? You take them over for a very minimal time, right? We're gonna say 3 seconds, right? But let's say you're playing 4 people. You're against 4 people,
right?
And you can throw your cap on him real quick and make him hit the other person.
That'd be cool. I'd be down for that.
I think that could be fun. I think that would be fun.
Because I know I asked you who you think we're going to see. I'm going to change that question up because I wasn't very clear. Who do you think we're going to see that has not already been in Smash before?
So, other than the Squid Kids, right?
Right, because that was the whole like announcement. Yep.
Right. Well, it's kind of interesting, but what I've been trying to think of is with Bethesda being pretty big and getting their Switch ports on and making their games, like, is there a Bethesda character that you could think of that would do well
Pip-Boy.
in Pip-Boy, exactly. It's a long stretch, and if he does, I guarantee you I will main the crap out of him and figure every aspect of that character out and become a world champ with that one character.
Right.
It's not going to happen, but I'm allowed to have my hopes and dreams.
You are allowed to have your hopes and dreams. That is true.
But like, I think that if not Pip-Boy, I think somebody else in the Bethesda universe has an appearance.
We've got a few ideas from chat here, and I'll list them off. Happy Die says he needs Crash and Spyro in Smash,
which I 100% they would work really well. That would make sense.
We've definitely had some other surprising ones that I never would have seen, like Pac-Man, Sonic, Snake.
Right.
There are definitely some characters.
Snake's the one that makes me think Bethesda more than anything, because I was like, okay,
sure,
they did have Snake in there, so it wouldn't be out of reach for them to have,
sure,
one of the main characters, a character from Skyrim, or even the Doom Marine. Like, it could happen.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, at this point, I don't think there's a whole lot that is. Other than Goku. Please stop suggesting Goku. Do not bring Goku
perfect.
to Smash.
Why?
Stop.
He would be perfect.
I'm moving past you. Happy Die also says Rabbids. Now that one I could see being a little more
play like Ice Climbers?
plausible. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they would play, if it's just one single one or if it's you kind of play as like a swarm of them. Like you know how Lost Vikings play in Heroes of the Storm?
Yeah.
But I don't know how that would work on like Switch.
Okay.
Rachel says dog meat for your.
That'd be cool. I'd be okay with that too. So, the chat really thinks it's going to be Goku.
Oh gosh, no! Stop.
I'm just saying, like, we have a very demanding thing that Goku's going to be in it.
I'm just gonna.
What would you do if Goku's in it though? Like, how would that actually make you mad?
It would make me mad, but I'm still going to buy the hell out of this game. It's not going to stop me from playing it. I would just be disappointed.
You act like you won't play him either. I guarantee you play him.
No, I would not.
You would play. Why is Goku not allowed?
It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit.
Did Snake fit?
It did, because he was on Twin Snakes was on GameCube.
They have Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2 on
I don't want to have this conversation. I am vetoing this. This conversation.
Okay, how about Vegeta?
And then Stowaway also says the other girl from Bayonetta, which I could see that too, especially since Bayonetta has become this Nintendo exclusive title.
I can see that.
Now there was a rumor for 3 characters that I saw.
Okay.
And I want to run them past you. So first was the Return of Ice Climbers.
Okay.
Which I would like to see.
I'm not good with them, but I'd be. There's no reason for them not to be there.
I don't like playing them, but I love that they bring back these old characters into.
Right.
Because to me, that's the heart of what Smash is just bringing
Right.
together the whole Nintendo world. I could see. Oh, the rumors. Sorry, Ice Climbers. Then it was Ridley from Metroid,
Okay.
which people have been asking for I don't know.
Again,
how
makes
many.
sense. It fits that. Why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't that? Why
You need
wouldn't
another
it?
Metroid character.
Right.
You need another one. Even if you did like Dark Samus, to where I wouldn't want it to be a reskin. Like give Dark Samus like a unique moveset or something.
Someone. But I'll let you finish.
Crap, I just lost track of the last one too. It was Ice Climbers, Ridley, and
Is it Knight Solaire?
no, but yeah,
Bro, they have an
Alright.
amiibo.
They do have an amiibo.
They have an amiibo. Knight Solaire would be perfect. He would be really good.
Okay.
It's the first Souls game on the Switch, right? Right?
Yeah,
They have an amiibo already made for him.
Yeah.
He's an iconic character from the series.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me. I'm just going to say
I
that.
could see
and
that.
I would be
Okay.
very happy. Deranged Teddy thinks Leon from Resident Evil, and I would be super stoked about that too. I would definitely not complain.
I could see that. I could see Leon from Resident Evil being in there. Rachel says Evil Chow from
Evil
Sonic
Chow.
from Sonic Adventure.
Yes.
And Trey brings up a good point. No more clone characters.
Yeah.
Like I want Captain Falcon and Ganondorf to be two completely different characters.
Right. Because they are the same character right now.
They are. I
mean,
I want them to have a
they both
completely
punch
different
me.
moveset. Just make them their own unique characters.
Right.
They did that too much with like, was it Lucario and Mewtwo that were basically the same? And I don't know. They just do it too often. I want everyone to have a unique. What was that?
Does Doom Guy have an amiibo?
Doom Guy?
The Doom Marine from Doom. I didn't know he
I
had
don't think
I mean,
so.
I didn't think he had an amiibo either.
I,
but
I think he was referencing
Nice.
Knights of Solaire.
Oh yeah. Okay. But like Doom Guy, I like I said, I think Doom Guy could work. But I really think we see Knight Solaire in there. I honestly, I think that makes sense.
I will agree that it's within the realm of possibility. I think that about does it for me as far as who I would see. I'll leave the rest of. We'll get some roster.
I
announcements
hope we
next week
never
for sure.
find out until we play the game and unlock them secretly.
I do too. I want it to be that way because I remember finding out in Melee that Mewtwo was in the game,
That was the
and
best
that blew
thing
my
in the world.
mind as a kid.
Yep. When that happened and you saw that character, you're like,
Right. I want that to be the case, but
It
the
won't.
way that the internet is now and how connected we are, I don't see it being very likely.
Right.
But I'm
What if
hopeful.
Nintendo puts out a statement? If you talk about any of the characters you've unlocked, we will ban you from playing Nintendo
Right.
ever again.
We'll get into your Nintendo ID and we'll just remove that character.
Removed. That'd be funny.
Well, we've gone for about 2.5 hours, Tim.
Right.
So we've talked about a lot of predictions tonight.
Right.
Any last minute, even if it's not from the people that we talked about, any last minute predictions you think that we'll see?
Last minute predictions. The big ones I'd say, I think Microsoft is going. I hope the big one for Microsoft is some kind of like VR, some kind of accessory, right?
Yep.
Because they do need games, but Microsoft also hopefully has something else. Sony, I really hope shows off Bloodborne and Resident Evil. I'm just kind of rehearsing like the big things I really want to see,
Yep.
like my big things, right?
Yep.
Bethesda, I hope we do see Elder Scrolls 6, and I know we're going to see more Fallout stuff. And we know that Nintendo is going to hopefully show off some solid games. I would like to see Animal Crossing from Nintendo. Those are like the big things I want to see while I'm there. I think from what can be done, it's anybody's game. Like really, I really think it's anybody's games in terms of who can win this because like usually some years you're kind of leaning one towards the other. Like, this is all they have to do. This is all they have to do. Blah 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 blah. But that's probably my favorite thing about this E3 is there's so much unknown. As much as we know, there is a lot of unknown.
There's definitely a lot of unknowns for sure.
Like what? Because you have to think like these guys have to put these presentations on. They have to do something to wow us. And even everything we've talked about, was there anything in there that really would wow you? Like, wow, I didn't see that coming. That we know of.
Well, I think the wow moments come from these surprises. Nothing
exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense. So I think that's the best part of this E3 is other than the games that we quote unquote know about, we know nothing else.
Right.
About what's going to happen.
And I kind of want to, with that being said, I want to kind of end this on a closing note here. With E3 coming up, let people enjoy things.
Yes.
Like it's really easy to tear a game apart because it's not built for you.
Right.
And we've probably done a little bit of that tonight too. I'll own up to that. But when something gets announced, I mean, just think about all the hard work that these developers have put into this game for someone's enjoyment.
Right.
Even if it's something like Pokemon Let's Go. If it's not your thing, that's fine. But understand that it is someone's thing.
I wasn't harsh on that game at all.
Let people enjoy things. That's all I'm saying. Let people have fun with the announcements. I saw something on Twitter, which is what I was pulling up here. Snark is literally the most boring option possible when you're responding to gaming news.
Right.
So, when we talk about things that are announced and all you have to say is something snarky, that's not a fun response. It's not fun for anyone. So, just have fun with E3.
Right.
We're going to be there, so hopefully you guys keep up with. We're going to be posting on socials all week long. If we can, we're going to try and live stream from the floor so we can show you guys real time what we're getting hands on with.
You get to see what E3 looks like on the show floor,
right?
Because I never knew what it looked like until I went there.
Oh yeah, it's insane. So we want to kind of give you guys as much of that kind of experience as we can. So we'll go live as long as the Wi-Fi / cell capability allows us to.
Right.
That'll be the only thing that'll hinder us. But if not, we'll definitely be going live at the after parties, the Bethesda press conference.
Yeah.
And we'll do some post day, end of day kind of wrap up style things too. And let's keep the conversation of this going on Discord.
Yes.
Click on the link either in chat or in the comments, however you're listening to this. Join our Discord and talk to us about what you want to see from E3. Like Tim said, it's up in the air. Other than what we know what's going to be there, we could see some pretty awesome announcements, some pretty big surprises.
And if you want to see something that we didn't discuss on here, bring it on. We could talk about it all day. Because me and Trev, we're only two people, and we only know so many games. I'm sure there's games out there like Happy Die mentioned The Legend of Dragoon. I would never have thought of that game. So bring those games on. I want to hear what you guys want to see from E3.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this week is all about the E3 hype. So yeah, we'll definitely be talking with you guys in Discord for sure. So jump on there. In the meantime, if you're listening, you can check out our previous podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. We're pretty much everywhere these days. With that being said, we'll be away from the podcast just for about a week or so since we are going to be in LA. But we're going to bring you guys other kinds of content too. So we'll definitely be staying in touch. And let us know what you guys want to see from E3 as far as when we're there, what you want us to check out. Because we'll definitely make a beeline for whatever you guys want us to get some insider information on. Sure. But in the meantime, I know this was definitely a longer podcast. Yeah. I appreciate you guys sticking around and giving us your opinions. But we'll be back in about a week or so once we're ragged from walking miles at E3.
Right.
But yeah, appreciate the support, guys. We'll see you next time.
Later, guys.
Thanks for listening to FAMcast. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/forallmanakind. You can also find our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and Spotify, so make sure you follow us there to keep up with the latest episodes.